bridesmaids do. Start doing like little celebrations, like the bridesmaids have like, oh, we're gonna do a tea party, we're gonna do karaoke leading up to the wedding. I got nervous at the engagement party, like when the families all met up and we rented out a hall. Like I started getting nervous and shit. I was like, hold up, we about to do this for real? I gotta do this shit for real. I like playing house, but I don't know if I can be locked in. It's like a panic room, man, and I'm
Yeah,
too.
panic room sound like it. You're right.
I be
Panic.
getting like, well, wait, this is getting a little too real now. I need somebody to let me out. But like, if I'm when we were dating and I was in my house and he was in his house, it was
Playing.
wonderful, wonderful.
Of course, you said I was just joking, man. Psych. I was just joking.
Right? I was like, man, there were some very attractive things about his, about how he lived and his personality and all that kind of stuff. So that part was good for me. It was the forever part, like Tara was saying. I don't know. I like to date. I'm a serial dater. I can date the hell out you. But merging lives and all of that, shit get real sticky. At that point, I just like enjoying someone's time in a separate space mutually, and then we like go back to our own little cubbies and it's fine. But yeah, the overlap can get a little suffocating. Why don't men ever leave the relationship? I'm going
Listen,
on mute. I'm going, hey,
his
next.
face,
I'm going on mute.
the face alone with this problem. Listen,
I'm laughing.
There's a woman next to him exhausted.
yeah,
Oh,
She's been cut out of
yo,
the photo.
yeah.
yo, I'ma tell y'all, I'm not gonna do. I'm a clown. I'm a clown man. I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna let somebody else go first because I'm gonna do nothing but clown with that prompt right there. I mean, I'm gonna hurt souls.
But with what Darkos was talking about there with the serial dating, I mean, I can't blame you because it's something that always baffled me because I used to always hear people say like, when they get in a serious relationship, they're like, all right, we need to change now and stuff like that. Not saying like changing for the better is a bad thing, but every time I notice the change is like all of a sudden no more fun. All of a sudden no more communication. It's like all of a sudden, the romance is done. Like you know what I mean? Like so much things are being changed in a negative way. And then it goes downhill, like, then you start, hating each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Especially when the babies come, Dex. Lord
right,
have mercy.
right.
That
Because
motherfucker go from Jackal to Mr. Hyde real quick.
no, but
It
listen, I've heard,
You're right.
and this is something that I've heard from actually YT men the most. Like, as soon as they get kids, they dislike their wives.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they were just there just for that, like to carry on their name, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what it is. It's that under the same roof thing. I had a rule. I think probably into my no, a little later than that, into my late 20s, that I would only date someone who lived in a different area code, not zip code, area code. Like period. If you lived in my surrounding cities, it's a no. It was just a straight up no. And I got kind of caught up because I went out of town and went to DC to party, and I'm like, yep, about to pick me up another one. And of course, gave me a Maryland phone number. I went on back home like do, and that person was like, oh yeah, but I go to college, and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I know you lying. You set me up. You set me the fuck up. But that was my protection, and it sounds strange because it's a physical barrier, it's a physical protection. But it also protected me from someone saying, "What you cooking tonight?" And
Right.
somebody wanting to lay up and Netflix and chill. Like it didn't happen. It was a scheduled. I'm flying out. These are the days. You got an itinerary, and it's the first date all over. And I'm the 51st dates kind of girl. That's what I like. And we're having a mutual time and what have you. We're enjoying each other's space, and then we kind of retreat back. But like being in my city, being in my town, and all that stuff, even that kind of dating was a little suffocating. So you can imagine what I'm like to live with. if I didn't want you in the in the area code. Yeah, I need at least an hour and a half between us, 90 minutes or more, preferably. Planes are even greater, but yeah, if you know that things get a little dry, things get a little boring, um, and that kind of, how was your day? Yes, it gets kind of icky to me, and you realize exactly how uninteresting that person is sometimes when you're living with them. So yeah, good luck, but not ever leaving a relationship. Oh my goodness. Oh my good, they're so insecure. When I tell you, they are so fucking needy. And what's scary is the level of what some men need is so what's the word I'm looking for? The bare minimum ain't it, right? It's below that. But the fact that you just need another body in the house with you, no interaction, no talking, no loving, no progress. You just need another body in the house. You can't even leave that relationship. That relationship holds nothing, and you can't leave that. Your level of insecurity got to be below hell, seven levels below hell. That there is nothing good, nothing that's enriching about that relationship, and you still won't leave. It's crazy work. I don't know what that kind of look like. There's no self-love, no self-development. You're not interested in another person. It's just it's pretty sad to see. But yeah, they ain't leaving no way.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing. It has to have a lot of hatred there for yourself too, because for you to actually be to cause your own unhappiness and prolong your own unhappiness is diabolical. That is a different level that I can't even fathom it. I can't think about it how it would be. Like I will never do that. Like that is not even an option for me.
It's miserable. I was so glad when my mama and my stepdad broke up because oh my god, it was fucking miserable. Like I love my stepdad, I love my mom, of course I love my mama, but they were
Who
like it
who
was.
who left East? Who left who?
Oh, he left. My mama chose his ass to leave.
Oh, she left. She
Yeah,
broke it up. Oh, so
yeah,
he
she,
proving the prom. He won't
yeah.
gonna go
Oh
nowhere.
yeah, yeah.
Well, in my situation, I moved my mom out from my dad. I move and got our own place, me and her. I'm a
But
single.
she was ready to go though, right? He
Oh
wasn't.
yeah, she didn't hesitate at
He would have
all.
stayed. He would have stayed forever. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have.
The expectation to even be happy in life is no. It's like it's negligent. Like the fact that men do not expect to have any joy is crazy. And that's what y'all want. That's what this patriarchy and misogyny taught y'all. You just ain't gonna have no happy. You don't want happy. You don't expect happy. If somebody else wants happy, you
Hmm.
look at them like you women. Y'all just want too much. What the fuck
Well,
is
no,
that?
but see,
Right? Like
thing
you
is
want to
that
be happy. What?
Well, yeah, I know. It's
But
like
Sorry,
see,
Liz.
because they will just check out. They'll go and do whatever they want. Like they'll mentally check out of the relationship. They are still in it because the wife makes the man's life easier in so many ways, and they don't want to lose that. So they'll just mentally check out. They'll just cheat. They'll just not like the wife is like the wife appliance, right? Is functioning the way a wife appliance should. So why leave? Why
right,
go through?
because like with my mom, like my dad couldn't take care of himself at all. Like couldn't. Like he's good at his job, like fixing cars and stuff like that, but like actually taking care of himself, he couldn't. He he couldn't. Like after we moved out, he like the house that we was living in, it just fell. Like he didn't clean up anything. He everything was just dirty. Like and it's like he wanted and he actually tried to get her to come and clean the place up. And my mom was
What?
like, nope. So she
Wow.
yeah, she well to be honest with you, he was so bad that my mom never been with anybody else since my
That's how
mom
Hmm.
yeah, that's how bad it was. That's how bad of a
How long
partner
was
he was.
that?
that's how it happens. A lot of women never remarry after divorce. They just
At
How long
stay.
all.
ago was
Mm-hmm.
that, Dex?
Huh?
How long ago was that?
That was like 20, about 25 5 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Shout
about
out
20,
to
because it was, yeah, about 25, 26, because that was around, I moved around right when I started playing pro. I moved around and we got our own place.
What's up, Greg?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Hmm. What you think about the prompt?
Um, I think there's plenty of reasons. I think one of the more common reason though is loyalty.
Oh my God. Like a puppy?
Uh, well, if this is your wife, you means that you probably built a life with her, right? So she was instrumental in whatever you built, and you don't repay someone's goodness with something so cruel.
What's cruel?
What?
I don't know, dumping her by the wayside.
Hold on. So what if so what in what situation is it okay for somebody to say, okay, let's end this relationship?
Um, the rules differ for men and women, right? The rules differ for men and women. We're all,
How are they different?
how are they different? Well, men aren't allowed to go chase their happiness, not over duty. Women can, she can ignore her duty and chase happiness, but men aren't allowed to do that.
What is a woman's duty? Hold on, real quick, Liz. That's not the question I asked you. I said, for what reason would it be okay to leave a relationship?
So what I was saying is that it depends on who you're asking. If you're asking just from the man's perspective, disloyalty, lack of respect,
What do you mean by disloyalty?
cheating. I don't know,
That's
setting
still
up to
not the
get you
question. That's
taken
still not
out.
the answer. She said, "In what reason would a woman have a good reason to leave a relationship?" And then you named the reasons why a man would have a good reason to leave the relationship.
Okay, sorry. I was a little confused as to who, because I said that we are different. That means that we use different reasons to leave, or rather
Okay,
different
so what
rules
reasons would a
apply.
woman have a good reason to leave the relationship?
I don't know. Why would we even need to find a good reason when women can just leave when they want to?
You
Why do we
just
need
gave
good
two
reasons?
reasons why a man should leave a relationship, and then you can't give one reason why a woman should leave a relationship?
No, it's not a matter of can't give. It's a matter of I'm just confused as to. Here's the thing.
No,
Men.
wait, real quick, sir.
Okay, go
You
ahead.
just
Ask your
gave
question.
two specific reasons why a man should leave a relationship. Can you give a good reason why a woman should leave a relationship?
I guess I could give a good reason, and the reasons could be somewhat similar to what a man's reason is. However, women aren't men, and they're not held to the same standard. And besides, they leave whenever they want to.
Sir. It's not a hard question.
I gave a reason. I said that we can apply the man's standard if
What
you
and
want.
what's those saying? If he cheats or do what? If he cheat or what else he do?
Disrespect.
And what does disrespect look like?
Um, what does disrespect? What a woman disrespects a man? What does that look like?
No, when a man
Um,
disrespects a woman, what does that look like?
uh, what does that look like? I'm just applying men's standard, to be
Do
honest.
you think it's possible for a man to disrespect a woman, sir?
Is it possible? Of
Hmm.
course, it's possible. Yeah.
What does it look like?
Yeah, you're asking me to apply the woman's standard. I'm saying I'm just applying the man's standard, and it's
Sir,
because it's something
sir,
I'm more familiar with.
sir, what does it look like when a man disrespects a woman?
So hold on. You think if you ask the same question twice, I'm suddenly going to figure it out?
It's not a hard question, why you
sir.
can't
It's
figure it
not,
out.
and I've answered the question. You don't like the answer? Is that the
You didn't
problem?
answer it. You didn't answer the question.
Are you
Okay.
capable of thinking outside of yourself?
It doesn't look like it.
So Greg, you never
How about
disrespected.
we?
Greg, have you
How?
ever disrespected anyone?
Yeah.
How does that look?
I don't know. Calling them out their name.
I thought you, but you say you have disrespect. Why don't you know? You did it before, right?
I didn't say I didn't know.
Yes, you say, I don't know. Calling
No,
you
I
out your
said the
name just
woman.
sounds. No, no,
I
wait, wait,
don't
wait.
think you're hearing the question they're asking. They're
No, I
asking from a
asked you a
woman's
question.
perspective.
No, no, no. That is not what they asked.
Yes, I did. They literally
No, no.
asked from a
Wait, wait, wait.
woman's
How could a
perspective.
woman, how could it
Why
be?
weren't you listening?
No, no, I was listening.
And
So,
they literally asked from a
no,
woman's
no,
perspective.
no, no,
I mean,
no.
they're still
Because,
on the line. You could just ask them.
no, no, no. Listen. They ask you, how does it look when a man disrespects a woman?
And that's a woman's perspective.
That is not a woman's perspective. Who's doing the disrespecting?
The man?
Right. Are you a man?
Yeah. Calling
Right.
her out
So
her
when a
name.
man is being disrespectful, how does that look? That is not from a woman's perspective. The man is doing the disrespecting. This should be very easy to understand.
Hmm.
Because if
And
they was
so
asking from a if they was
you
asking
want
from
you
a
want
woman
other
perspective,
you want an additional answer
no, no,
or
not an
oh, that
additional
one's
answer.
good.
So what
Okay.
Greg is saying is, if that man cheat on you or call you out your name, that's enough reason to leave a relationship, no matter how long you've been together. Right, Greg?
That's a man's standard.
No, for women.
You can take it and apply it to you if you want to. I mean, women don't need an excuse to leave. They just leave when they want to.
I mean, I agree with
But
that.
men have to give an excuse for leaving.
Who do you
Why?
think
No, they don't. Men leave all the time.
Wait.
What world do you
Wait,
live
wait.
in
Who
where men leave
forces a
all the
man to
time?
give an excuse? Who forces a man to give an excuse?
You, other men, the society. We look
To
down
give
on
an
men.
excuse?
We look down on men who abandon their duty. That has always been the
Still do
standard.
it.
It's
Wait.
worldwide.
Who set up the standard?
It transcends culture. It's literally a male
Greg,
standard.
Greg, who created the standard?
Men, of course. Who you
Right.
expect to create it?
So
God?
okay, all right. So that's what I'm saying. So if men created the standard and you not going and you fail at the standard that men created for men to benefit of, men will hold you accountable, right?
Sorry, repeat the question. I don't think I.
Men will hold you accountable for not upholding the standard that they created for us, right?
Yeah,
Right. So if
social
you don't like
pressures.
if you don't like that, you should try to get rid of those standards, right?
Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm asking you a question.
No, that's rather silly. Think about it. There's how many
Do
men
you
are.
like the standard, Greg?
I think you need to listen. This standard is a gender standard. It's not an American standard. It's
I
not.
know.
It's
I
not a
know.
Western standard. It's a gender standard,
I know
which
that. Yeah.
means you're going to have to convince 3.5 billion men to forego this. That's you. You might as well try to put out the sun. That's kind of
So
ridiculous.
how is it ridiculous? Because
Because
it's
it's
not
so
ridiculous.
overwhelming.
Here was not that
Overwhelming.
ridiculous.
It's like literally trying to put out the sun.
Greg, hold up. 3.5 billion men were convinced to do this to follow this standard, right?
Hmm.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It's been with us for so long.
Right. So somebody had to convince
us.
us, right? So one man who came up with the idea had to convince.
Maybe that one man was Adam, the first man.
Wait, okay. Oh my gosh.
Maybe.
But listen.
Hold up,
So
Greg
wait.
wanted to say something.
Okay.
No. You're saying I wanted to say something?
The standard, how it was created, is lost to history. So there's no. I mean, the question.
I mean,
as to how
logically,
it
you could
is,
figure it out, Greg.
I doubt that. Go ahead.
Okay,
Let's see it, though.
logically, you could figure it out. Somebody
All right,
came
let's
up with the
do it.
standard and convinced someone else that was a good idea because men are easily influenced, right? Very easily influenced by other men to do anything whatsoever. Right? Men were convinced to even give up their own lives because one man wanted a woman in another country, and men would literally was convinced to go give up their life for that, right? So
Actually, billions of men would actually die than forego their duty. And yes, you're right about that.
no, what I'm saying is, it is men are very easily influenced because they were influenced into the standard that you're talking about. So to say
Yes.
that they cannot be influenced into another standard is
Sure.
just
Go ahead.
idiotic.
Go ahead, try it.
No, but I'm just saying. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I hear the words. I just recognize that
No,
it's
I didn't ask you if you
I
hear the
recognize
words.
that
Do
it's
you understand
impractical,
what I'm saying?
and it's equivalent to putting the water. It's like equivalent to trying to put enough water on the sun to put it out. That's
No.
But
it's
hold on, can I say something
impractical.
real quick? Can I say
Oh,
something
me
real
too.
quick? So,
Me too.
so like we're assuming that men, when they stay, are like fulfilling their duty. How often are wives married single mothers, right? That term, because it's like their
That's
husband is having
oxymoronic, by
another
the way.
child. Like we're assuming that them being physically present is the same thing as them being like mentally, emotionally, all the other things present. Sometimes they're there in like physical form only and in no other form. So like this idea that men are staying because they have some sort of like um uh dedication to what it is that they think that they're supposed to be doing is false. And then other times men just
No,
walk out one day, never to be seen or heard
you
from
don't have
again.
to
So
believe it. You don't have to
But
believe it.
but Greg, but we all know that this is a lie, even what you're saying,
I
because
think you're
there
hoping
is
it's a
no
lie.
accountability. There's no accountability to men. So there's no accountability where, oh, you left your family, so you won't get this promotion. We won't let you work here. We won't be your friend. There's nothing that happens to men who leave their family. So why are you lying?
Where have you seen this?
everywhere.
So everywhere.
Where
There's
have you
a
been?
with men. Okay, Greg.
Where have you been?
Wait, I would like to answer your question.
Because you don't mean everywhere in
Men
the world.
men used to abandon their families so much that the United States government had to create a law that said that if you abandon your family, you would have to pay things like child support and alimony.
What
There's
percent
there
is the
the
U.S.
we
population of the world's population?
I'm talking about America. It doesn't. You asked me where have we seen this. I'm telling
Yes,
you
so
in
a minority
America.
of
So I
people.
answered your question.
If
I
every
answered your
single male
question.
in
You asked
America
me.
does
Wait,
it,
wait, wait, wait,
it
wait, wait.
won't change
You
the world
asked me a
standard.
question, Greg. Relax, okay? You asked me where have we seen this, and I said America. I answered your question, and I'm disproving your point when you said that men are when basically men have abandoned their children and their
Mhm.
wives so much that the United States government had to enact laws. That's how much it was happening. They had to enact laws that said that if you abandon your quote unquote duties, now you have to do things like pay alimony and you have to pay child support. So it has been proven that men
Okay,
have
so
abandoned their families and their duties that much.
I'd like to rebut that. Let's just say in America, let's just say we account for all the men. Let's say 100% of all American men abandon their families. That would be, what's the total number there? 175
You
million
love
men.
numbers.
175 million men. 175 million men is a drop in the bucket compared to 3.5 billion.
What does that have to do
It's
with the
not.
price of
It,
tea in
it,
China, sir? Where
oh,
it
okay.
doesn't.
So let me explain.
I know.
Let
I
me
understand that
explain.
you're trying to be. Listen, I understand that you're trying to be facetious and you're trying to bring in
It,
global
no,
numbers.
literally, it's not
But
facetious.
let's go ahead and
It's
let's
literally. This is not using numbers
right.
isn't being
But
facetious at all.
listen,
How
you're
is that
no because
facetious?
there's forms of child support and alimony in every country in the world. So therefore,
No,
it
that's not
doesn't
true.
matter. It doesn't
I don't
matter
think you can
if
Google this, right? This isn't
sir.
something that's hard to find out.
There really is. I don't have to Google it.
I promise you, it's
You can
not.
go ahead and Google it. You can go ahead and Google it. But
Okay,
there are
go
forms
ahead.
of child support and alimony in every country in the world where if you abandon your child or you abandon your wife or you abandon your duties, you will have to pay some type of restitution. So it doesn't matter if it's only here in America, only we're only talking about 1.5% billion% of the world. It doesn't matter. It's happened enough to the point where laws had to be enacted. So that disproves your point.
Okay, here's a thing that disproves your point. If you can, since you don't appreciate numbers, let's do something anecdotal. How many people
Those numbers,
have
no, but no,
how
start with
many
the
people
numbers
have
because
committed
it's happening
murder,
all over the world. We
and
know
do we
that.
have a law against committing murder?
What?
What did he say?
You were talking while I was talking. How many
I wasn't
people?
talking while you were talking.
Sorry, not you, Liz. I was
I
talking to
was
Liz.
because you were
Uh,
saying nonsense.
yeah. So,
Hmm.
how many people in the U.S. You think have committed murder? I don't think it's a lot, but we still have a law against it. So having a law against something doesn't suddenly mean that everyone's doing it.
But the law was made because there's a problem. You want to focus on, oh, if it's not the majority of people. The fact is, they make laws sometimes, anyways, when there's a problem, sir.
Yes. Or when there's
Hold
a
on.
problem, we make laws when there's a problem.
Sir,
Go ahead.
with such a trait, no law would need to be made. It would just be the stigma would be enough, but that's not enough. The fact is, men were abandoning their families. Men were leaving their families to go create another family.
Now let me respond. We don't make laws only because we are trying to stop someone from
Right,
doing
that was
something.
for the point. We're not
We
arguing about
also
laws.
make laws to encourage
Sir,
people to do other things.
sir, it wasn't all about the goddamn law. It was about the point. You about to get lost in the example.
Okay, and listen, this is why we use the numbers, right? Because it's easier for everybody to put things into
No,
perspective.
because you think you could just say numbers and that, oh, that means your point was proven.
Well, let's think about it. Let's think about it like this. If 100 people cross the street and 99 of them get hit, every
Listen,
time
now this
99
is
people get hit,
now,
are you
hold on.
crossing?
What is
No,
it
but if
is?
one person get hit, you're still going to cross. So the numbers
No,
matter.
probably not.
No, but you
What?
The numbers influence your behavior.
you're saying
You don't see it as risky if one person out of 100 is getting hit when they're crossing the street compared to 99 persons getting hit when they're
again.
crossing. The
No, hold
numbers
up,
are very important.
hold up. I said don't get lost in example, and you went back to the goddamn example. What was the original point, sir? What was the original point?
And they say women are argumentative. Huh.
So
What was the
she
original point?
makes the erroneous claim to say that because there is child support laws, it means that men are chronically abandoning their families, and that is erroneous.
How?
How is it erroneous? Because for one, you don't have any data that supports that men were just wholesalely doing it, and more importantly,
Wait,
Yes, we
Mr.
do.
Greg.
let me finish it
Hold
so
on,
that way
but
you
he
can know
made
what
a
you're
Greg.
arguing
You made a
against.
point about 99 people crossing and one. So now you're trying to tell me that the child support law was made because of the one person crossing the street that didn't pay their child, that didn't abandon their family. But in your point, if it's an issue, meaning 99 people are causing this problem, then it's enough to be addressed and turn it into a law. So now you're saying that it's the opposite, because if it got turned into a law, according to
No,
you,
I
that
did
would
not
mean
say
there
that
was
at
enough
all.
people. There would be, I'm saying that if it got turned into a law, that would mean they wouldn't make a law for one person, my guy. It had to be a massive issue
How
to the
does that
point that it
follow?
had to be
That
made a
doesn't follow
law,
logically at
according to
all.
you.
Yes, it does.
It does not
Come on
follow
now.
logically at all, and I'll explain. I'll explain why it doesn't follow logically. Because you're trying to discourage a certain behavior. One person might do it, and you're saying, you know what? If 20 people do this, this is very bad for our society. Let's put this law in place so no one is encouraged to do this. Or if it crosses your mind, we don't want you to do it. For instance, committed murder. We don't want people to just go around randomly committing murder, so we pass a law against it, even though there is, when you look at the total number of murders and the total number of people, it literally is a very small number. In fact, the number of people
And it's
willing to
always
do something
men.
like that
And it's
is
always
extremely
men,
small.
by the way.
But we do not want that, so we
Wait,
discourage
hold
it with a
Greg,
law.
Greg, that example alone, you can't be serious with that. Do you know the level of violence that men have put on this planet for centuries? You telling me that men didn't commit murder on a large scale worldwide for them to come up with laws to outlaw it? You saying it was a minimum amount of people, so it wasn't really happening that much.
Yeah,
That's
No, why is it that no one's listening? I said
we listen. No, I'm asking. Listen to what.
you're
Listen, because
definitely your
listen.
opening proves that
Do
you weren't
you
listening.
think that when they came up with the law, it was because it was happening at a small amount and they just wanted to curve people from doing it?
I don't know what their reasoning were, but I do know that there are some laws that are put in place so to control certain behaviors, to discourage
Can I
behaviors.
ask you
There are
something, Greg?
also
Can I ask you
laws. Let
something?
me finish this first. There are
No,
also
no,
laws that are put
no,
in place
no,
to
no,
encourage
Greg,
behavior.
no.
Let him say
Greg,
his point first. It's dumb, but
gonna say nonsense. Okay.
I'm done. You can go ahead.
Okay, how many people do you know that were raised by single mothers? Just you personally.
Um, a handful,
Because
maybe
personally,
about
I know a
50,
lot. I
about
know a
50
lot of
people
people
or
who were
so.
raised either by single mothers or whose like father, they were like they had two parents in the home and then the dad jumped ship, or the dad wasn't there, was there physically only, but was either like a drunk or was was just not a good guy, was not helpful, was mentally checked out, was this, that, and the third.
But
Like,
what is that? We don't know those numbers, and it's hard
no, but
to
like just
make an analysis
you
on something
personally,
like
how
that.
many
So
people
let's
do
just
you
do it.
know?
Let's do a black and white. They're there or they're not there.
Okay, but so how many people do you know were raised with one parent in the house and that parent was a mother?
Maybe about 50.
Okay, so you can think of 50 people that were raised in that situation. Okay,
Yes.
so can I easily. I think so could probably anyone that we talk to, regardless of like of income, like you name it, demographic. Like, yeah, that is. We all know plenty of people who were raised by single mothers. That is how common it is. Okay, you want to talk about like numbers, and you want to like look at like just look at around you in the immediate vicinity. Like, how can we
Wait,
say that
what?
this
Why
is
are we talking about single
uncommon
mothers
when we
again?
all know tons of people in that situation? It's not uncommon.
Wait, what's the connection between single mothers and the top and what we were talking about before?
Men abandoning their duties.
Oh,
Remember?
you're assuming that every single mother is a result of a man abandoning her? Is that the assumption?
Lord.
So, Greg,
I mean, you need to state it because
No, hold on,
otherwise, the
Greg,
statement don't make the statement don't make sense.
Greg. Here's the thing: if men see that duty, right, and then a relationship ends, we will see men taking custody of their children, Greg. But we don't see men taking custody of children. They leave the children with the mothers. So if that's the argument that you want to make, then in that case, then we should see so many fathers out here still raising their children even without the mother. But we're not seeing that, Greg. So yes, she can make that assumption.
So I
so and
wouldn't
also
assume
Greg,
the argument.
and
Let
also
me
Greg.
let me say this. I
Wait,
wouldn't
hold
assume the
up. That's
argument that
quick.
I'm gonna make
Greg,
because
hold
we
up,
don't think the same,
Greg.
Oh,
Hold up.
Greg,
right?
I need that.
Yeah, hold up, Greg. And
So
plus,
just
you have to
tackle the
remember,
argument
back
that
in the
I
day,
actually.
Oh,
listen,
Greg, you got it right there. So hold up.
yeah, even back in the day, you have to understand that when child support came around and men was abandoning their wives, a lot of women couldn't work certain places. They couldn't own property. They couldn't own bank accounts. Like all these things, we set up laws that kept women behind, right? That they couldn't actually be independent. So when men were abandoning their house so much and having different families across town and stuff like that, when all those things were going on, that's why the government had to step in because it was such a huge problem.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know why it's muted. So
Did you
that's
hear what I
true.
just said? Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard you. I was just talking and I didn't realize I was muted. Um, so in response to what you're saying, that's true, but I don't see I don't see how that being true changes anything.
Wait. If it's how could wait. If women couldn't take care of themselves, they had to depend on men because we set up laws like that. And when they abandon the wife and the kids, how would they be able to take care of themselves, Greg?
Wait, I don't see where are we sticking to the point? Because
Yes,
I'm
no, we're
very
talking about
confused.
listen, we're talking about why it
I don't
happened,
think
right?
I don't think I know the point because
No,
it,
okay. No,
conversation
let's
needs to be taken here.
logically think about this,
First, tell
Greg.
me.
If we
First, tell
said,
me what is the issue we're arguing,
Yeah,
and
you're gonna be
then
confused
repeat
every
your
time somebody
argument.
respond. Every time somebody respond, you're gonna be confused.
No, he's not confused. When you make a valid point, he's shifting back to the topic. He wants to pivot. So he won't validate a point that's true. Instead of doing that, he'll say, what are we talking about? Is this related to the point? So he's not going to validate. So you're not trying to have a genuine
That's not true.
conversation, because if someone makes a valid point that you can't dismiss, then you'll just try to pivot to something else and say, what is this about? Can we talk about something else? Is this related to the prompt? But when you making your goddamn points that ain't related to the prompt, you want that shit to be validated. Stop playing in my face. I'm shutting up.
Greg,
Yeah,
let's get
that's
back.
your fault or
Greg,
something.
let's
No,
just walk through
hold
this
on, Dex.
simple.
Dex,
No, wait. Let's
Dex,
just walk through
hold
this
on,
simple.
Dex.
Let's just
Listen,
walk through this simple.
listen, Dex. Listen, we cannot communicate if I don't know what we're talking about.
And
Like,
that's what
this
I'm
is
doing.
common
I'm
sense,
doing
right?
that. I'm setting it up so then you can understand, right? I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
do it slowly and we'll walk through it. We're talking about men abandoning their families. Do you
Right.
understand that? Okay.
Yes,
So,
that I understand,
right.
and
Okay. So let's walk through it. Back when women couldn't own property or own bank accounts, work certain places, they couldn't take care of themselves. Do you understand that?
right.
Right. So when men were abandoning their homes so much, what do you think was happening to their wives and their kids when he's not there taking care of them? What would happen to them? Would they prosper or would they suffer?
I would assume that they weren't being taken care of well. They either had to go on, government assistance
Government assistance wasn't a thing then.
or
This is why I'm listen, wait.
can you let
This time it
me
didn't.
respond? Can you let me
No,
respond?
because it didn't have that. That's what I'm trying to
Can you
walk you
let
through.
me respond?
You're jumping the gun. It didn't have that.
Can you let me respond?
That's why you
It
don't know what the hell going on.
it didn't happen yet.
Can
This is
you
what I'm
let me
trying to walk you
respond?
through. You're
You're
talking about
jumping
something
on
that didn't
stuff.
happen yet.
You know what? If I actually got it out, you would actually know what I'm talking about, and then be able to respond to it.
No, wait. I ain't tell you I'm walking you through this quick, and I will listen to you after. I'm just walking you through this quick because you say you didn't
Okay,
understand.
don't
So I'm
ask me any
taking my time.
questions
I'm walking.
until you're done and I'm not ready for me to talk.
No, because it seems like you're confused if we talk long. So I'm doing it piece by piece. Would they suffer in this situation that happened?
Yes, they would.
He's the breadwinner,
Question.
and he left. Would the children and the wife suffer or prosper?
They'd suffer. What's your
Right.
next
So
question?
when the government realized that a lot of kids were suffering and a lot of mothers were suffering because the men were abandoning their families so much, they had to create child support to
Agreed.
force the men to do it. So this is what we're talking about.
So wait, what is it that we are arguing against? Because
You
you're
You
saying
gotta say, what
they're
did
making
he
the
say?
claim, Dex, we're both talking at the same time means one of us is not listening. Because she was making the point, men are wholesalely abandoning their family. And I was saying that's rather ridiculous. They're not
And I
wholesale abandoning their family. And
That
you
was
are
never
bringing up
no.
the fact that it exists. Can I
That
wait? Let
was
me
not
just
my
finish.
no.
Let me
That was
finish
never
because
my argument. It
we're
was
both
never a
talking over each
wholesale
other, and it
abandoning their
makes no
family.
sense.
No,
It
but
makes
it was
no
never.
sense because Dex actually thinks he's making a point with that
It was
ridiculous
never
statement.
an argument that men were wholesale abandoning their families. That was never
It
the
has.
argument. You came
Then why
in
did you
and
think the
said that
numbers were
men did
brought up?
not abandon their duties. I
Why did
said
you think the
that,
numbers were brought
Greg,
up?
like you said, we can't be talking at the same time. Nobody's listening. You came in on the talking point that men do not abandon their families. I then said that there was at one point in time that men abandoned their families so much that the United States government had to step in and create child support enforcement laws. No one on this panel has said that men wholesale has been abandoning their families. You want to conflate the two. You want to make these hyper inflated arguments. We understand that every man, if you have any type of common sense, you would understand that every man is not abandoning their families. You would also understand that we're not saying that every man has abandoned their families. You should be smart enough. You're the numbers guy, right? So you should be able to understand that we're not saying that. You are the only one that is making that argument. You are trying to not all men this argument, but we're saying that even though it's not all men, it was enough men that abandoned their families where child support enforcement laws had to be created. Can you
So,
agree with that? So we
so for
understand that.
one,
We
okay,
understand we
go
don't
ahead.
have to bring in the global numbers. We don't have to bring in 1.2456 billion people, but we can also agree that there was enough people, enough men
You
abandoning their
said that
fathers,
already.
abandoning their families where the government, I'm asking you, can we agree that there was enough men that were abandoning their families enough for where the United States government had to step in? Can you
So,
at least
can I
agree to that?
respond? Because you keep repeating yourself.
Can
You've
we at
already
least
said, you
agree to
literally
that?
said that same thing twice. So
Right, but
here's the
can we
thing.
at least agree to that?
Listen. So let me
Right, but can
respond.
we at least
No,
agree that there
let
were
me
enough?
respond.
Are you
I would
incapable of
appreciate
agreeing
that.
on basic
I
facts?
would appreciate if you allow me to respond because this is why we're in this confused state. It's because no
You the
one's
only one that's
listening.
confused, Greg. You the only
Literally,
one that's
you guys are all
confused.
confused.
No, Greg, you the only one that's confused.
So here is what she said earlier, right? She said that I said that no men are abandoning their family. That's not true.
No, she
And
just clarified, and
can
now
I
you want to go
finish?
back.
That's
No, no,
not true.
no.
Not only did I say,
No, Greg,
that,
Greg,
I said
Greg,
men have.
sir.
I
She
s-
just
I
no,
gave you
Greg,
two reasons
Greg,
how a man would leave his relationship.
Greg.
So I don't see how is it that I would assume
Lord,
that
no. She just clarified, and instead of you understanding the thing, saying, "Okay, thank you for the clarification," you want to go back to an earlier misunderstanding that you had and start from scratch. That's ridiculous, Greg.
it is valid. It's important to the point. It's important to my next
That was a
point.
point that you want to make. That's not what she was saying. She just clarified that.
So you are not interested in what I have to say. You just want
Are
to
you
talk at
responding
me.
to her? Or you just making
I'm
a
literally
random
doing that, but
statement?
you don't like what I'm doing.
Oh, you no, Greg. It's the suit. Every time y'all got a suit on, that's how y'all act.
All right.
You know he not leaving the marriage because he won't even leave the goddamn argument. He won't even abandon. You know he gonna stick it out, whether he right or wrong.
And I think that's the point, that women are exhausted and that women are leaving because they're exhausted. And men are like, that's no reason to leave. I don't care how much I torture you. You sit here and take it. And people are just tired. And you wouldn't be tired if you wake up ready to fight every day. You wake up ready to argue, and then you go to sleep, and that helps you sleep better because you've pissed somebody else off. The person that's going to sleep upset is going to get tired of going to bed upset, and they're going to leave.
Yeah. It's very much an energy vampire. That's really what it is. It's him making these hyperinflated arguments at first where, well, globally that doesn't happen and we're only talking about 1 million men. It doesn't matter if we were only talking about 500 men. It still proves the point that 500 dudes abandon their families.
But the problem is he's trying to make your point an absolute, so then he can give the exception for his point.
Exactly. Exactly. You're absolutely right. And that's why going back and forth with men is exhausting and kind of pointless because they will hyperinflate everything. It's actually, isn't that like one of the signs of narcissism where the
It's
or
always
no, yeah,
my
it's
bad. I didn't mean
actually
to cut you off.
no, it's okay. Yeah, no, it's I think it's yeah, he is very disagreeable. I think it's like gaslighting, where one of the things of gaslighting is like if you make a point about, hey, sometimes I don't like when you leave the toilet seat up, and they go, well, are you saying that I always leave the toilet seat up? And then that's a way to try to say that your argument is invalid. So men like this are insufferable. I would be surprised if he was married. I would be surprised if there is a woman that can live with something like that. And if he was married, I promise you that woman is unhappy. She's probably putting apple seeds in every meal that he has. Right, Summer. What about all the times I put it down?
Listen, and it'd be once that you put it down, and all the other times you left it up. Because that one time, don't you talk to me about putting those seat down. I did it before. But I wanted to say too, but with the on the why they're not leaving the relationship is again that it's there's the you're not married to the person, you're in misery or what have you, and it's hard to try to negotiate. Hey, this would make me happier with a person who has zero expectation of happiness. There's this, I got duty. I got to go to work. That's my only purpose in living in this life is just go to work, and that's it. This other shit that you want is not necessary. All I'm going to do is go to work. And you're unhappy. He's unhappy, but he's like, no, I'm good with mine. That's just what I'm here for. I understand that this life is supposed to be unhappy. And women are disagreeing. Like, no, absolutely not. And if they can be happier alone, I think he was leaning to that point at one point, that it's not always the men leaving, but men make it untenable. You make it impossible to live with. And you're putting more work on that person. So essentially, the man did leave the relationship. He just won't physically leave the house. So he'll get to put it on you. Oh, she left me. You've been left the relationship. You ain't done anything in this house. You've been getting taken care of. I know why you don't want to leave. Because she's not going to live in filth. She's not going to go hungry. She's not going to make sure she's going to make sure these kids have everything. So absolutely, you don't have a reason to leave. But the person who's doing all the work, they absolutely have a reason to take their work somewhere else where it's appreciated, whether it's just by her and her kids. Hey, wife, mom.
Oh, where is that? There it is. Hello, ladies. How y'all doing? I want to know if he is married. Y'all know if he's married or not, because I'm just finding more and more that these clowns are not married or not don't have kids, and they don't even have experience talking about the things they're talking about.
I guarantee
'Cause
he's
I'm
not
like,
married because he would have threw it in our faces by now.
so
He would have thrown it. He would have been on this panel before his box would have lit up. He would have threw it in our face.
I
it's
don't know.
crazy.
Right
That's a
now,
good point. That's a good point.
so right now, apparently he giving us the silent treatment. He throwing a tantrum right now. So
You know, talk about maybe he's going to change out of his suit.
no, he definitely got that suit on tied it's straight tight. But I just think sitting on the panel throwing a tantrum by giving the silent
Nobody
treatment.
asked me a question, so there's no point to
No, no,
talk.
no, no, no. You're not doing it right. You're supposed to not respond. You're not doing it right.
That's not how the
If you
silent
want my
treatment
But for him to
goes.
say that you didn't ask
if
a
you want
question, she
my
literally just
opinion,
asked a
ask me
question.
a
It's funny.
question.
No, she asked you a question. You wanted
I
directly.
did.
No,
No,
because
you
he threw a
didn't. You spoke
tantrum.
about me. You spoke about me, not to
All right,
me.
all right, then she didn't. Then you don't have to respond.
Oh gosh, darn! Boy, go get a glass of wine and chill.
And
Jeez,
not only did you
you
do
are
it,
too
you were rather
uptight.
Once
disrespectful
he start
too.
talking, he won't shut up.
I don't care. I don't have to be respectful to fools. I don't have to do that to
Then
dum
why do you
dums.
think I need to entertain your questions if you're not
You
being
don't.
respectful?
I didn't ask you to. I'm just
The host
saying.
seems to think that
I'm
I should
talking.
entertain your
If you
disrespect.
wanted to answer it, you could have, but
I
you
don't
don't
want to.
have to
I
answer it.
don't want to
I
interact with
already know.
disrespectful
I
people.
got a pretty good feeling about what I think, so I'm just leave it at that.
Donna Temple's
Global talking about
crazy.
men globally leaving their women. It's stupid. We right here in America.
You can move away from that point though, since he gave us a silent treatment. You want to
Yeah.
respond to the point?
Thank you, White
Yes, I
Mom.
will
Hold
answer
on,
the
real quick,
prompt.
Duckworth, you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say that sometimes the answer is given in another answer, and the comment that was made multiple times is that women leave for no reason. So I believe
I'm,
that lots of women have left him for no reason.
no reason. They
But I'm
just
fucking
ghosted his
Patty. I'm going
butt.
on mute. Go ahead, White Mom.
They
Why
just
don't men ever hush? Why don't men ever leave the relationship? Because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to clean their own home. They don't want to cook their own meals. They want to have some children, not raise them, just have some children so he could say, I got kids. That's all. He don't want to be alone. That's the biggest thing. Look at this old pawpaw right here with his thumb up. He know he need a wife. He ain't gonna remember to take his medication. He he ain't gonna remember to go to the doctor. She got to do everything. Men want women to have sex with, make babies with, and take care of them. Period. They don't want to be alone, and that's the end of that. I land.
What's up, Prince?
Hey, what's up? Not gonna lie, the old man kind of scared me for a bit. Like, where's Tara getting these images from?
No, when y'all be talking about be married for the rest of y'all lives, this who that nigga gonna turn into.
Nah, let me stay in my single lane. Then nah.
This who they be telling you you want to spend the rest of your life with. This man right here.
Nah, I'm just gonna trade in the model for a newer one. Nah.
That's your forever husband right there.
It's gonna transform in the future.
Rosebush Express. Rosebush Express. But yeah, no, I think like men, they don't leave the relationship, and I think it's like everyone said, they need that wife appliance. They can't survive on their own, and I guess and that I agree with that, and also I don't think men really know how to take care of themselves. Like I think all of that self preservation goes out the window as soon as they find not even a wife but like a girlfriend. It's like, oh, I have someone, I don't need to survive anymore, and just click that part of their brain off. I was like, you still need to survive on your own, like a bunch of lemmings. And I'll land.
Anybody want to respond to something that wife, mom, or Prince said?
I could respond.
I do. Oh, damn. I'm going on mute.
Go ahead, Greg.
I think if we had a picture of his wife, you see that she's equally aged. I think you're transposing your young self onto him, but they're both
Who are
depending.
you talking to?
They're both depending on each other, and they're both happy with their lives.
I mean, if they're both depending on each other, then if she leaves, then he should be fine on his own. But that's not the case now, is it?
Is that the assumption? You want to prove that?
Are we using words that we don't know the lexicon to? Is that what we're doing?
How about you just answer the question?
I mean,
And
Are you using words you don't
if
know
you're
how to
going
use the
to
grammar
start out
rules
with the
for?
disrespect, if you're going to start out with disrespect, I don't see how that works out.
I
for
mean,
both.
you started out with the disrespect first. Are you mad that I'm
By
doing it
saying
better?
what? Tell me, how did I disrespect you?
Oh,
Well, wait
a
a minute.
wife is just as
Wait,
good
hold
as
on,
he
Prince.
is.
How did she disrespect you? All she asked you is if you're using a word that you don't understand. She asked you is if you're using a word that you don't understand the meaning of.
How is that disrespectful?
Are we talking about high school words? Are we talking about
Are we talking about high
Are
yeah.
school
you
words?
are
Because
you
you've been
Because
incapable of
using
answering the
these are
words.
question?
basic words. I think if you
Because you've
are,
been using
here's what we
words
should
and
do. Here's what we
terms
should
that you
do.
don't know
If
the
it's a
meaning of incorrectly this whole
if it's a
Oh,
time.
basic word, then
this
why did
me. Oh,
you
so
take it
which
as
one's that?
disrespect?
Which one is that in particular? Which word? Go ahead, enlighten us.
Well, assumption is one of them, but I'm
Assumption.
off the clock, so I don't teach for free, sir. You have to
I
pay for
don't.
my services.
I don't think anyone's paying you to
Hold
teach.
up, hold up,
You have to
Gray.
pay for my
Hold up,
That would be a
services.
Prince.
mistake
Hold
if
up,
someone did.
y'all. Darkles, you still want to say something?
Yeah, my point was about a little bit of what wife, mom, and Prince talked about, meaning they're not self sufficient. But my point is that there is not a gap of time that men are independent. A lot of it is from the parents' house, maybe a very short stint if they're in school at some point, but that's still a very supportive environment. And then it's right into I need a girlfriend and I need a wife, I need a girlfriend. So you live with someone, but there's not a big group of men that have a 5 or 10 year stint of them living independently on their own. There's just not. Some men haven't ever lived alone and haven't ever had like their own house or apartment and stuff like that. And if they do, it's quick to try to fill it with someone to do those things. So it's not that they don't know how. So I disagree with the point they don't know how to take care of themselves, but they go out of their way to make sure they never have to take care of themselves for an extended amount of time, if they do at all. Because after they leave or the girlfriend leaves, they go back to the parents' house, and when they pop back out, they're going back in to live with another woman. It's just a cycle, and that cycle lets us know that you, of course, understand all of the benefits that a woman has as far as stability, versus you saying, "But I'm the provider. You're supposed to be stable." And a lot of them don't have a stable history. They don't have a stable job history. They don't have a stable rental or home ownership history. A lot of things aren't stable. Can't stick to anything. So I think that's more of what it looks like to me. So not leaving this relationship, that's the most stable thing they've had. So I think that's why they don't want to leave either, because they're going to be back out here flailing and then looking back to move in with mom or grandma or just the next woman. But being on their own for a long time, I don't know many men who've been on their own for 10 plus years. You know what I'm saying? Being single, taking care of themselves. I'm trying to name some and I'm coming up fucking blank.
I'd like to add a anecdotal. I don't think I'm not attempting to refute what she said. I was just gonna add an anecdotal a statement with regards to on the same topic that she's talking about. So I grew up partly in Jamaica and partly in Connecticut, and I went to school in Georgia. And so while I was in school in Georgia, I was there for like 5 years. After I graduated, I went and became a process engineer in Savannah, Georgia. And my path was very typical for a lot of other men at that school. So we were out of the home, away from our mothers for many years. 10 years, not so much. Nobody wanted to be alone for 10 years, but definitely 5 or so years, because that's how long it took
Do you
to
want a
get
fucking
ourselves
cookie?
together.
Do you want a hand clap?
Well, the thing is, it's anecdotal, so that's the reason why there's no point in using anecdotal. Because, like, he could say whatever, and we're supposed to just go along with it. Like, it doesn't change the fact that, in general, what Darko said is true about the fact that men have, like, women always supporting them. They're seeking support from women, they're coddled from women. Men live in a bubble. So it's like, yeah, he's going to definitely want to give this story that we can't verify if it's true or not. But he like, yeah, I could say this, because then this is going to debunk what she said, because he noticed he said it was him and other men there, even though some men who go to the university live with women, some live at home. Like, it's time when women still come to those homes to support them. But like, he wants to give this anecdotal story because he think that's going to be a checkmate for him.
No, I said it wouldn't be. And in fact, anecdotals can't checkmate something that broad.
No, 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 no.
The
Anecdotals
idea of an
cannot
anecdotal,
checkmate that.
and the idea of an anecdotal isn't a checkmate. It's just simply to relay a point.
Again, you're using words and sentences that don't make sense to the argument. or to the point that's being made. So
More
again, do you want a
importantly,
fucking
I said,
cookie?
more
Do you
importantly, I
want a
said
hand
to her,
clap?
I said that I wasn't
Yay,
trying
you're
to
a hell of
receive.
a man, because you can live on your own for more than 2 years.
So
Congratulations.
No,
the
hold on.
majority of people don't
What
go
do
to
you
That still
college.
want?
doesn't negate her point.
Because you can live on your own for more than 2 years.
So
Congratulations.
No,
the
hold on.
majority of people don't
What
go
do
to
you
That still
college.
want?
doesn't negate her point. But
I
go
have
ahead,
a
Daku.
I got a
A lot
clarifying
of people
point.
who go to college do have to
Hold on,
live by
But
Greg.
themselves.
Hold on. Go ahead,
but
Daku.
Greg, what I'm saying is, in my explanation, I already excluded those years, and you're trying to stand on the fact that hey, for 5 years when I was in college, I was independent, and I said don't include college years. There's a lot of support. That's still not independent living. You're living off loans. You're rooming up with somebody else who's going to the school, or you're in a dorm, or you're in an apartment that's being paid for by some school funds or parents because you're concentrating on education. It's still a supporting environment, and you go right back to that time frame. But I excluded that when I made my point, so that wouldn't specifically be brought up, and that's what you went to first. It's weird.
Well, here's the thing, right?
What's
I
the
mean,
support? What's the
but,
support that you get in
but,
college that is different from what you get if you're
He just
on your
explained
own?
it. He just explained it. Go ahead, Doug.
yeah, Greg is just stupid. Um, I mean, the fact that it have a male loneliness epidemic that's been reoccurring time after time after time. In no time in history has it ever had a woman's loneliness epidemic. Like no time. Because women are okay being by themselves. They build community by themselves. Men are the ones who always have to be around women to the point that we have to pass laws and use violence into forcing women to be with us. So what is he saying that it doesn't make no sense whatsoever?
Can this is why I strongly recommend that people, if they want to get married, don't do it until you're after 30, because that gives men and women time to adult on their own. I would never marry a man who had not spent any time being an adult on his own, jumping from house to house, couch to couch under a woman is absolutely not the way to go. That's not a man who is self-sufficient and independent. And he wouldn't even be considered a mate for me. So I land on that one.
I just want to come off mute and say there is a women leave me alone epidemic that's happening right now.
I love it for women.
And that's worldwide. Worldwide. To the point that government's trying to pay women to be with men. Greg, why would governments go to that length?
Well, idiot. Since you asked a
That was
good question,
unnecessary.
I'll
Hold
be
up.
responding to you.
You make a big thing about being
Response.
disrespectful to be disrespectful. Like that.
Yeah,
He asked you a
that's
question,
exactly
you
what he
respond
said to
like that
me.
is crazy.
Those were his exact words. He
No,
says
you and
Greg is
your
an idiot.
No, he called you a dummy. He didn't say idiot.
Well, Greg, what's the definition of an idiot?
You. I think of
No. What
you.
is the actual
I
definition of
literally
it?
think of you when I think of idiots.
No,
Because
no. Okay,
here's the
yeah.
thing.
Okay, so what in
You're
the
so
definition?
provincial
No,
that
no, no.
you're
Wait,
so
wait,
provincial.
Greg.
I'm surprised that you even figured out how to use TikTok, let alone be exposed to a large group of people.
Greg.
You know nothing.
Let's stay focused.
Because here is a statement you made about
Greg, let's stay
worldwide. And
focused.
that's an idiot statement.
No,
I mean, it's so
I could
ridiculous.
actually prove it. I could
I
actually
can
prove it.
prove that you're an idiot. Go
Okay.
ahead, Google it.
Okay, so what's going on in South Korea right now?
Is South Korea the world? What's the population of South
No.
Korea? What's the
This is
population of the world?
wait.
Again,
Listen, the
idiot
world.
can't
Listen,
be
wait. Hold
math,
on.
so of
Okay,
course
wait.
you're an idiot.
The birth rates around the world is dropping. Every
No, the
single.
birth rates in Western countries are dropping, and Western
No.
countries do
So
not
wait.
make up the
Where is South
majority of the
Korea?
world's
Where is
population.
South
In
Korea?
fact, South Korea is in the east, idiot. Look
Right.
on a
So
map,
you no,
idiot.
but you said west. You said it happening only in Western. You said it only happening in Western countries. Didn't you just say that?
Uh, yes.
Right. And
Western
what did I
country
say?
is as in the
What
political
did I say?
designation of
Right. And then
first
I
world
said
countries.
I said I started off with South Korea, right? Correct.
Right.
Right. Is that Western?
Western as in the first world countries, as in the
That
political
is not.
designation of
That is
Western.
not what Western. What
Hold
did?
on, you just said South Korea's in the
Actually, it
East.
is. If you look it
I know
up,
you said that.
you'll see that Japan is classified as a Western country, and it's
Greg,
No,
Greg,
it's
clearly
you
No, it's
not.
said,
What
not.
the
hold on,
Are you?
fuck?
Greg,
You are.
Greg, you said is in the East. You said that.
because it is in the east. That's its
Right.
physical
And that's the
location.
point he's making.
Yeah, he's using the
No, you said now
geographical
you're trying to
designation as
backtrack and
opposed to
say, oh, it's
economic
the
designation.
West and political. You said it was the East, Greg.
Okay. All right. Okay. My fault. Countries, first world countries. This is a problem with first world countries. Is that better?
What is
Why
that
do
problem?
why do you use hyperbole to
Is that better?
validate
This is a first
your
world country
argument?
problem.
Because he
can I
doesn't
actually
have an argument.
yeah, we don't need you're using hyperbole to validate an argument, which is insane. But actually if you Google it, like remember when you said this is easily Googleable information? If you Google it, birth rates are declining globally.
I'll humor you and Google it.
No,
But
no.
hold up, real quick, because Greg, you like to use anecdotals, right? Why your the mother of your children left you? Why did woman leave you?
Ooh.
You don't have nothing to say, okay.
He could still hear us even though he's on teacup. He not
That's
about to
fine.
yeah, he
I
not
want to
about
ask
to
him a question. I wanted to know. Lord. Um, the struggle be for real. Like for real, for real. And it's interesting how like these like I said, these conversations don't get nowhere. Like you prioritizing just being right. You're not formulating good arguments. To say you went to law school is crazy. You need to get your money back. Cause how the fuck isn't that like a pivotal point? Being able to argue.
He went to Yale Law School. And that's
Like,
what it is.
are you gonna stonewall the judge if you don't get your way?
You went to Trump Law School at this point. Hey, this is
He's gonna
Trump.
filibuster.
Yeah, this is Trump Law School. Yeah. Jeez.
I was on the debate team in high school, and I could argue better than him. Damn, that's all I had. That was the extent of my shit. Boy.
So apparently, when you're not on the screen and you're talking, no one can hear you.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
because intelligent people understand this. Craig.
Oh,
You know,
you thought we could hear you while you was outside of the app? No, you can't
so
hear somebody while they're on the outside of the app.
so
And it's
Greg,
so funny
that was
that
a perfect.
you tried
So
to
the result
insult Dex.
of Googling it shows
You
that
tried
it
to
is,
wait.
it
You
is
tried to
true
insult
that
Dex
the
and said that I
global
can't believe you figured
population
out how
birth
to
rate
use the
has
app and
fallen,
you don't even know how to.
including countries like India, which isn't first world, but India, which has the most populous
Greg,
country,
it doesn't
is
matter. You said it was in the
decline.
east. Greg, none of that matters, sir. You the one who said it was in the east. You said it. It's not even a thing about if it is or if it isn't. You said, oh, that's in the east. You said, oh, it's the case in Western countries. And you said South Korea. You're like, well, that's in the east. You negated yourself, sir. You did that.
This is
So you were
insane.
wrong.
You want
law
to
you
go get
practice.
proof that you're wrong? That's crazy. All right, we accept it. You were wrong, Greg. Everybody agree with that? Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Greg was wrong. Yes.
Greg was absolutely wrong.
So, Greg, do you understand why I called you stupid? Because it's an observation of your behavior. It's your observation of your lack of understanding and lack of comprehension. Because the definition of an idiot is a stupid person.
Stupid.
Yeah, go and get your money back from that law school.
I wonder if he's talking.
Yeah, guarantee he's talking. Guarantee.
But what is he talking about?
I don't know. He keep leaving the app though. He's still talking.
Yeah, he's still talking. Right?
Damn.
Lord.
I want y'all to know I'm on mute crying over here. Fucking crying.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
Mm-mm.
Oh shit.
It's
Oh my
insane.
gosh.
But yeah, he's right. He did try to make it sound like Dex was dumb for not knowing how to use the app in real time. This is wild.
Right.
Stupid.
Proving why I called him stupid. Yeah.
Softer than Todd, I swear.
Who y'all think he's arguing with?
Himself.
No,
Wayne has
he's
entered the
arguing,
chat.
arguing with Google right now.
Looking for proof that you were wrong is crazy. That is crazy. Lord. It is funny to keep saying how many people in the world, as if we can't look at countries and behaviors in countries to like specify a point is crazy. And one little thing just to help y'all out, it's not half men and half women. Y'all do know part of that population is children also, right? Like it's so weird when people say that. Like you just assume, oh, half is women, the other half is men. That's not how that works.
Right, children and elderly.
Yeah, they don't count children and elderly as people. I don't think they do.
Once
Where
again,
does he keep
because
going?
once again because they're
Making points.
stupid.
He out of the app making points.
Yo, diabolical.
He like, I'm reading this for y'all now. Y'all not hear my point.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Lord, that's so fucking crazy. But anyways, Lord, all right, we need a new point. That shit was stupid. But the reason why I asked him, why did the mother of his children leave him? Because essentially, like, it's not that the men are choosing to stay and be loyal. It's that the women are choosing to stay. Because if the women want to leave, the relationship is over. Men are not initiating divorce at the rate that women are. And when men do leave relationships, they go into other relationships. That's the difference. Women will leave relationships to be single. Men leave relationships when they have another relationship lined up. And that's important to the point.
Go ahead. So you asked me about my wife. Why did I leave? Is that what you said?
No, why did your wife leave you?
Oh, why she leave? Oh, I don't know. Why do you think she left?
It's your wife. Tell us why she left.
You say you don't want to answer the
Why
question.
do you think she
If you
left?
say why do I think she left, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You say you don't want to answer the question.
You asked the question.
But it's
you
funny how
said,
you
why
tried to
did
say
I
real
leave?
quick, why did I leave?
Why
And you
did
just talking
you
about
leave?
how men are loyal and there's no reason to leave. But all right, it's just contradictions all around.
I think we can guess why she left.
Could
Just
have
from
been
this
your wife, could have been
conversation
your baby
alone.
mother, whatever.
We know what
But
I
you only
really
want to
left.
give anecdotals when they help your argument out. We got it. It's fine.
She left for her goddamn sanity. Because if she had to deal with this, I've only known you for 40 minutes, and I want to divorce you off this panel so fucking bad. It's like I can see why that woman left you.
Like, I just want to go get some milk and never come back. This
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
I know, and I know she's single too. I know for a fact that woman is single. She's probably planting tomatoes, drinking a glass of white wine, saying, "I'm so glad that busted motherfucker ain't here no more." Respectfully, of course.
Nah, disrespectfully.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You can
Disrespectfully.
imagine living with this dude though. Like,
Right? every
Aqua Tofana
argument.
on standby. It's like, you know
Yeah,
what? There's some wild tobacco in the backyard. Let me just.
Yeah.
every disagreement with somebody like this would have to result. You could tell that he's the type of person that he would have to win every single disagreement. That any type of point that she made, any type of feelings that came up, he had to invalidate her every single time. He probably used hyperinflation, hyperbole every single time. You could just, you know what I'm saying? Like this right here is, this type of man is my worst fucking nightmare. This is the type of
But
man.
see, the whole purpose, but the purpose is not to argue when somebody wins. The purpose is to
Mhm.
communicate problems and resolve them. So yeah, it makes it frustrating because not only is he trying to win an argument, the problem is not being resolved.
Exactly.
Because the thing
Even
is,
I'm positive men like me aren't chasing you down. So I don't
I'm
think you'll ever have to worry about
Thank
that.
wait,
God, sir.
yeah,
Thank
you think that's
God.
a
What are you
fact?
talking
Positive, you're a
about?
liar.
that's a
No,
goddamn
no. Thank God. Like, Lord, thank you so much. Please.
because you would have Tara hiding underneath the bed.
Mm-mm.
He'd
Mm.
be, he'd be hiding underneath the
But
clock,
contrary to
underneath the
popular
bed.
belief, these men are so damn desperate. They are chasing and hounding after any woman they can get their eyes on. It's like,
No,
oh,
not me.
that's a woman. Let me go. Let me try to wear her down with hyperbole and arguments that
Yeah.
don't make sense with these cheap suits I got from Ross.
Ooh,
Just
Yeah.
word salad with doo-doo dressing.
Exactly.
Even if we were
Just
wearing rags, we still wouldn't want you.
relentless. The way
I'm
that your
sorry.
voice sounds
I'm
right
sorry.
now
You
tells
can't
me you are
resort. You
sniffing
cannot
panties out of the
resort.
garbage.
You cannot resort to I wouldn't want a woman like you when every woman has all unanimously agreed that we would never want to be with a man like you. We all unanimously, everybody agrees, even the dudes. Okay, so for you to say, "Well, I wouldn't be chasing a woman," you're not. There's no.
Y'all know smiley
Have
faces
you ever
just
walked
crying.
into have you
Hold
ever
up real
walked
quick.
into a
Hold up real
room
quick.
and
Hold up.
dated?
Hold up. Smiley face emoji is yes. Crying face emoji is no. Who would want to be pursued by this man? Let's do a poll. What Greg, the lawyer in the suit, who would want to be pursued by this man?
An ugly cheap
An
tie.
ill-fitting suit as that, making you look like a damn milk dud.
Anybody want to
Ross.
be pursued by this man? Anybody
Some people
want
like
this
it.
man in their DMs? Anybody want this man calling them? Anybody want to go on a date with this man? Anybody want to live with this man? Anybody want this man in their face talking about anything? It's giving unanimous no, Greg.
Greg head reminds me of like an
So
old
you've never walked
grape.
into a room where people that you disagree?
You ever seen like an
Like
old grape?
every
You
room
ever
you've been
seen?
into,
Hold up, Greg.
everyone
Hold up, Greg.
want you
Hold up.
to?
Greg, hold on 1 second. Greg kind of remind me of like the last grape in like the food basket.
Now that's if I crash, it's on you. If I crash, it's on Dick. Oh my god. Not the last grape, the
Yeah.
bruised up smushed
Yeah.
one. I hate it
Put the dent on the inside and it imploded.
Yeah,
If y'all
literally.
mushy.
Yeah. The last grape in the food basket in the kitchen. Like,
Oh, that was a good one.
God. I'm gonna mute.
I
Oh,
bet you
Lord.
he's going to go look at our profiles. Try
Yeah.
to see what we look like.
I don't know if he know how to do that, to be honest. He probably looked up what the last grape looked like. But
He's blocked.
The imploded grape. It looks all sad at the bottom and dry. Like, eat me.
So yeah, I don't do that. I don't look at people that I'm not interested in.
I don't believe you.
what
You
did
look
it?
like a
I don't
liar.
look at people that
Wait,
don't.
wait,
I don't
You
know.
look
wait.
like a
I
liar.
got a
Like
question.
to
I got a
intimidate
question.
me. So
I got a
you don't
question.
have to worry about that. You'll
I got a
never see
question. Wait. Hey, I got a
nothing.
question. It's really important. Hello.
Yeah,
Well,
he got you.
I don't believe that he was offended by what you said, Dex, because he don't leave anything. He not leaving that last great meal. He don't even know what it is.
What's wrong with the last grape?
So hold on, Greg. Greg, since you want to emphasize that you would not want to pursue women like us, what type of woman do you look for?
Oh, you don't like them. I promise
No,
you,
no,
because they're nothing
no.
like you.
Just no. Give us a description.
Well, think of a woman that can't stand you. Chances are you're looking at my
So you
wife.
can't describe. Okay.
Oh, so she's white with a chin like Manly Mun. Got it.
If she can't stand you, chances are she will
Got
appreciate me.
it. Got it. You sound like a man that dates a white woman. That's okay.
I date all women, by the way.
Actually, he do sound
Yeah,
like
but
he
not
dates
all
a
women date
woman.
you.
Let me go
No, he
look at it.
definitely dates
Ah,
white
it's,
women for
you know
sure.
what's funny? What is funny is
That's
not
funny is you don't
only,
have a neck. That's what's funny.
yeah, well, they date
Just
me,
bursting from
and
your
that's good enough.
collars. Just bursting from your collar.
And not only do they
That's
date me,
funny.
they come
Hold
approach
on,
me.
Greg. I
I
wanted
don't
to
approach
answer the
them
question
either.
because I never got a chance to. I did want to say that I think that for me, I think it's too big. The main reason why men don't leave relationships, I think number one, we've all said it, is because of their image. They don't want to be perceived as like a failure. Even I think even Greg had touched on that point as well, that they don't want to be perceived as failure. They don't want to lose, like men get social hierarchy when they're like when they own a woman, because a lot of men consider like their wife their possessions. But my thing, I think it's like abuse. Whenever I see men like that are talking about like, oh no, I'm gonna stay in this relationship whether I'm happy or not, and I think it's a form of like psychological abuse against her, for her having the audacity to be unhappy in the marriage. Like, how dare you be unhappy and not want to be with me, and now I'm gonna force us together as a way of psychological abuse. That's what I think.
That's interesting. Like
Yeah.
feel
Did
resentful of
did
being
I
That's
answer
a
rejected.
that
good point.
question?
Hold on, real quick. But
It
it's
wasn't a
like feeling
question,
resentful for
Greg.
being rejected, because we know that like men do lash out when they're being rejected, and lashing out doesn't always have to be like loud and grandiose. That's
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah.
You wanted to say something?
Did I answer that question, by the way? Because I think it's like I was saying earlier, that it's duty, when it comes to marriage and you have wife and kids, you're just not looked upon favorably by other men
So how
if
do you
you
other
were
men view
to
you?
be in a
If you're not
relationship.
fulfilling your duty, how are other men viewing you right now?
Yeah, like men who don't fulfill their duties aren't really, or they're usually shunned,
Are
So
you? That's
isolated.
my question. Are you being shunned? So you're not married, right? Are you being shunned?
Well, you and I aren't friendly like that for me to be exchanging personal information with
So you
you.
don't want to talk about how you
And
being
besides,
shunned.
I would first start out by
you
you
already done told us
opening
all
up
your
to me.
business.
No,
And
he
if
only
you
want to
tell
talk about
me
your
what's going on
business.
in
He
your
doesn't want
world,
to talk
I'll
about
think about whether or not I want to tell you what's going on in mine.
You told
so
us
that
what
means you're not. Hold on. That means you're shunned and you're not accepted by other men. Your wife
You have
left you,
kids?
and you haven't yet to remarry, right? You're out here. You're a single man. You're saying that other men shun you. They don't accept you.
You have children?
What did I say? Whenever we make a valid point, what does he do?
pivot.
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 Like a figure skater. Look at him go.
Y'all remember
Just
Friends?
dipping and
Pivot.
diving.
Pivot.
Weave,
Pivot.
weave, dodge.
Bob and weave, Gina. Bob and weave. You done told us all your other business, sir. You done told us how your wife left you. You told us that you got kids. You told us where you went to school. You told us that you grew up where you grew up. Like, you done told us everything else. Just tell us. Let us know. Golly.
I mean, that might be why he on this corner of the internet by
I told you
himself.
what I wanted you to know and no
He
more.
got shunned by men. He's not accepted within the group. So, I mean, that makes sense.
I mean,
I'm validating your
if I
point,
didn't
Greg.
have a neck.
So yeah, men, we don't really tolerate that with other men, and
What?
it's unfortunate that you guys run into men who abandon their families, their wives, their kids. And it's unfortunate that those guys make up
No, that's not the
the
point
larger
that's being
part
made,
of your
Greg. Greg,
experiences.
that's not the point being made.
That
The point,
what I'm saying is
Greg,
strange.
that's not the point. The point is that men are not leaving. For
Well, I was
example,
just responding to the
like
I was
before your
responding
wife
to the
left you, the
prompt,
relationship probably
not
was
to your
over.
question.
But
I was
instead of
responding to the
you
prompt,
saying
not to
like,
your
"Oh, let me
question,
get
because
out of
your
here," you like, "I'm
question
gonna stay out of
was
duty."
personal, and like I said, I don't know you that well to be sharing with you, and besides, you'd have to share with me first for me to get to know you well enough to see whether or not I
But
want
you
to.
know us well enough to say that you're from Jamaica, that you went to college, that you're in law school, that you
I
use
didn't
words
say it.
improperly, that you have
It's
big
in my name. So
opinions.
I've
You
told you.
guys actually looked me up because I'm far more interesting than you.
Dude, we
That's
don't
why
know
you looked
you.
me
No
up.
one looked you up. No one
How did
looked
you
you
know
up.
it?
You said that. You
I said
said
what?
it.
I know what I
You
said.
said it.
I know exactly
You
what I
said
said.
all your
I said
personal
I went to
information. Now
school
you
in
think you're that
Georgia,
special?
and I
That's
said I
what
took
you
a job
said. And then you said you
out of
went to law
Georgia.
school.
No, never
And you
said
said you
that.
went to law school. Yes, you did.
All right, say what you want. I know what I said.
And we know what you said too, you fucking liar.
You're the one who can't read,
Okay,
and
all right,
You're
all
the one who
right,
can't
all
breathe through
right.
that
insulting
collar
other
on your neck.
people. You're over here insulting other people, talking about you pay people have to pay you to teach. Who would do that? That's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, I'll tell your cousin I said congratulations. Greg, go and get now. Go and get out of here now. I can't do it no more, y'all. My bad. I dropped everybody. Y'all can come back up, but Greg, go and get out of here now. We don't want your kind around here. That shit was annoying. It's insufferable. I can't deal.
Go on and get out of here.
Go and get out of here now.
You head on, you motherfucker. Get on out.
Hit the road, Jack.
Don't you
Lord.
come back around these parts like you can. We got it.
Oh, I can't do it no more. Lord, I wanted a divorce. I couldn't do it no more.
Can you imagine what that lady went through?
I can't
Oh,
imagine.
Damn. You send her some flowers. My condolences.
oh
And
God.
congratulations for freeing yourself. Cause damn. Ain't no
I like
way.
having an op on the panel, but that nigga was insufferable. Yeah, Rasmus, he would have never left. That's the thing. He would have never left me. In the relationship. Fucking crazy.
He would have never left you.
Like if I can't have you, no one can.
Damn. And now here I am. No op in sight. All alone.
Oh my god.
Leave me alone.
Let me see if I got another prompt. Lord, I can't do it. Damn, that's annoying. Oh, we can flip it. Here we go.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Why are women initiating divorce?
Cause these niggas get on our goddamn nerves.
They married a Greg.
and they
Y'all
just
can,
needed to get away
y'all
from
can
them.
answer. Go ahead, East. You want to answer the prompt?
Okay, well, from I've never been married,
Hold
nor
on,
do
real
I.
quick. If y'all haven't shared the live out, can y'all share the live out, please? Go ahead, East.
Let me share. Oh, this is my backup page. I don't even like these people.
Yeah, send the people you don't like. What you talking about? But
Uh,
go ahead.
This is my ops page. All right, I'm gonna send it to the ops. So I think the reason why women are divorcing is because men. I think men think that the only thing that they need to do, they don't provide any type of support whatsoever, and they barely provide financial support nowadays. But I think that men just become like a piece of furniture in the home. They don't participate in raising the children. They don't participate they don't participate in raising children, how taking care of the home, like cooking and cleaning, because a lot of men deem a lot of these things to be quote unquote woman duties. So even if she's working and he's working, they won't do the laundry. They won't help. They call raising their kids babysitting. I've heard so many married men refer to them being home alone with their kids as babysitting, and that just goes to show you just the type of mentality they have when they're looked at like what is looked at like when they're alone with their kids. And then what else? I'm gonna just land there.
Can you imagine your partner seeing you worn out from cleaning and cooking and taking care of the kids, and knowing that like helping you out would make everything easier, but he like, no, that's not what men do. That motherfucker go sit on the couch and put his fucking feet up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've seen it. I have seen it.
That shit crazy. Go ahead, Prince.
Like, I'd say that, men get to a point where they're worse than furniture. Because at least with furniture, you can move it, you can clean it, you can put it in storage. If it's no longer useful, you can resell it. And, like, get more than what you paid for the item, depending on what it is. But, like, I think men just become this weird, oppressive force in the house that just sucks all the joy and energy out of it if they're unhappy with the situation, or they feel like they don't want to do anymore, but they don't want to do the work to make it better either. But to answer the prompt, I think women are initiating divorce because they're just tired. And this is just me observing the divorced women in my life and the married women soon to be divorced in my life. They're tired. They're tired of planning, they're tired of doing, they're tired of just being like everything and anything all at once, like Shaka Khan, but they don't want to be every woman. They just want to be themselves, and they hate that they allowed someone else to turn them into something they don't recognize anymore. And I'll land there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said before, every selling point for like these committed relationships that men have is about a threat. It's all linked to a threat. And essentially it's like if you glorify something and you make it seem like it's so just wonderful thing through and throughout, and you're like, life without this partner is gonna be horrible, and then a person get in a relationship and it's nothing like you said it would be, then like they're going to be like, shit, it got to be better than this, right? Like if I gotta unalive alone, so be it. If I gotta protect myself, so be it. If I gotta take care of myself, so be it. Because like it's insufferable. And the thing is, there are women who are in relationships and are lonely. They lay next to somebody every night, they got a warm body right there, yet they're still lonely.
Yeah, I think that's why black men are so mad when black women say the phrase "I can do bad all by myself," because a lot of these women are initiating divorces because they are doing bad in a relationship. They're doing bad in they're not happy. They're not taking care of themselves. Have y'all seen the trend where
where women are how he had me, the how he had me trend, where women are showing pictures of when they were in long-term relationships and then they're showing pictures of when they left the relationship. It's scary. That shit is scary. Like, there was this one woman, she looked like she was on it looked like she was fighting all her life she had to fight. And then the picture of herself after, like, she looked so much happy. And I felt so bad for her because y'all, she was married to this man for 30 years.
Damn.
30 whole years. He took her 20s, her 30s, and her 40s. But then she looked better in her 50s than she was in her 20s when she was with the man. That's crazy. In her 20s when she was with the man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it makes me think about the fact that one of the honest things that apparently are not an identity, right? We talk to men all the time and we see that they so easily censor themselves. Like it all is about them, what they want to they so easily censor themselves. Like it all is about them, what they want to talk about their world. Everything is them, to the point where when he'll tell you everything, he'll unload on you, he'll victimize himself. But once you go talk to him about something, it's yeah. He not even returning that energy. And you essentially have to walk on eggshells. You have to shape shift. You have to like formulate yourself around this person. It becomes exhausting. And a lot of times it's like, oh, it's not like that, especially in the beginning. But over time, every fucking time, talk to these women who've been in these relationships for fucking decades. You lose your identity. And that has to be draining. So yeah, when a woman get out of a relationship and all of that energy that their partner fucking sucked out of them, they can now focus on themselves. You're going to see them doing better because it, that's the value of it all. When you are by yourself, you get to take all your energy and put it into yourself. That's why it's important to like have that time in adulthood where you have some time to be by yourself and you're not prioritizing relationships. So you figure out who you are, what you like, set a routine for yourself, get used to setting goals. And when you're in a relationship and you're in a relationship with somebody who has been conditioned to think that you're supposed to cater to them and fulfill all of these duties for them, you're going to be exhausted. It's going to suck the life out of you. Hey, cool ass. I responded to your message that day. You never respond back. What's up, Pascal? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
What you think about the prompt?
It's interesting, I guess. Why are they initiating divorce?
Yeah, so we know that majority of divorces are initiated by women. Why do you think that is?
Because they're not wives. Because they're not wives. So they want to get married. They like the ceremony. They like the attention, like being the center of attention, the focus. But when it actually comes to like the duties of a wife, they don't know what that is, and they're not that. So
describe a wife for us. Break that down so we can understand what you're saying.
I mean, a wife, according to like legally, is a spouse of a.
No, what are
individual.
you referring to? You're not just talking about a legal thing. It can't be.
I'm saying divorce is a legal process. I'm just saying like that characteristics of a wife.
Yeah, so the characteristics. What do you consider characteristics of a wife?
They're not home takers. They don't make a house a home. They don't really want to be the one that's in charge of making the meals. They don't want to be the ones in charge of the aesthetics of the house, cooking, the cleaning, the
So they don't want to
rearing
cook
the
and clean.
children.
Okay, they don't
They
want to
don't
cook
want to. They don't
food.
want to
They
do
just
those
want to
things that are traditionally wife's duties in a home. So
So
Traditional
after,
Tahitian.
can I ask him a question real quick, y'all? So after they divorce, they starve to death.
no,
Well, why wouldn't they starve to death? Because they don't want to cook, right? So
no.
are
I'm
they
saying
just
they
gonna
don't. They
eat?
don't want to cook for a man and the children. They don't want to cook for their husbands and clean for their
So
husbands because they
after
believe that's being a maid.
so after the divorce, and they still have custody of their children are living in filthy conditions and starving to death.
No, I didn't say that.
So they are still cooking and they're still cleaning and they're still taking care of their children, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
You married,
they don't want.
Pascal?
They don't. Want, they'll do that role for their children, but they seem to have a hang up or some kind of
Are you
mental
married,
blockage
Pascal?
for doing that for a man.
Are you married?
I am not,
So how do
Mm.
you know?
because I know a lot of married men and men that are divorced, and that was
So
the
you only
reason
got
why.
they side. You only got they side of the story.
I got to guess a queen or something, whatever they wanted to be. I'm not sure,
So
but
there's a
Mm.
difference between
their complaint was that I'm not your maid, I'm your
right.
wife.
So there's a difference between cleaning up after someone, right? And picking up after someone. Like if we both keep the house clean, isn't that what two adults should do?
Yeah,
Okay, so if my husband walks around and he leaves stuff everywhere, he doesn't wash the dishes, he like makes a complete mess and then expects me to clean up after him, would I would feel like a maid and wouldn't that be valid? Cause like what if your wife came home and she just left everything everywhere? Like she'd eat and leave the dish in the room or like she won't clean up behind herself, she don't clean the bathroom every now like you wouldn't feel like a maid? Pascal?
hmm?
You wouldn't
Oh
feel like a
well,
maid?
I think that a lot of men believe that that's a traditional role of a wife, or they wouldn't want to have a wife.
Pascal, let me ask you a question. The woman who said that her husband thought she was a maid, what type of work did she do?
Huh?
What type of, like, what was her career in?
I believe she was a stay at home mother.
You believe she's a stay-at-home mother?
Yeah, she didn't have a job. She was a mother. She was a housewife, and she didn't like the fact that she had to cook and clean and take care of this man's messes and stuff like that. So
Do you know?
she
Do you know how much
got
time it
divorced.
takes? Do you know how much time it takes to take care of a baby?
Yeah, it's pretty significant time. They need a lot
So,
of
so
attention.
if she's a stay-at-home mother, right? She's taking care of the child. Why would he also think that she's supposed to take care of all the duties for him?
I
Like,
mean,
if that, because think about
that's
it.
the
If
that's
she,
the
hold up,
whole. I
real
mean,
quick. Hold up, real quick. If she all
okay.
day when he's at work, she's taking care of this baby. She's changing diapers, she feeding the baby, she entertaining the baby, taking the baby to appointments, taking the baby outside, doing play dates, cleaning up after the baby. She's doing that all day while he's at work. When he gets home, why do he then also think that they still clocked in? Like, cause she still gotta take care of the baby. Why would she also have to take care of him?
I mean, that's I don't have a wife, so I can't tell what the women want to do exactly. But I
No,
mean,
but you can tell as a person, right?
for
As a
men,
person, hold up,
for
sir,
men,
though, right?
I'm saying
Hold up,
that
as a person, though, right? With if you were home with a child all day taking care of that baby, right? Babies need a lot of attention, right? And sometimes they're not on schedules. You might have had to get up at 4 in the morning. You got like a midday nap, and everything. And then your partner comes home. Do you think you would have the energy to also be his caregiver?
Not necessarily a caregiver, but
No,
I mean that
cleaning
is a
after him
duty.
and cooking for him. When does she clock out?
When did she clock out? I mean, she could clock out all throughout the day. Put this baby to
Not
sleep.
not
That's
if
a
you have a
clock out.
baby. No, babies during the day
Baby
they might take
sleep.
a
Baby
2 hour
sleep like
nap.
16
No,
hours a day.
no. But you also gotta understand the baby gets up at night. So when the baby got up at night, she got up with the baby at night. And then
Also,
after the
Tara,
baby and then
you
after the baby
babies.
goes to sleep, she's not going to sleep right after all the time. So like it's not 16 hours. I don't know where you got that
I
from.
was just about to say
It's like
thank you.
12,
Thank you
like
for saying
12
that.
hours or something like that. From what I
You
No,
don't
read.
not
know that
12
amount of hours,
hours.
sir.
He ain't
You
never
don't,
been around no
Baby sleep.
baby because
Baby sleep a
most
lot.
moms who
Sleep a lot though.
no, they
Depending the
don't.
age, newborns
They
do sleep a lot.
newborns will sleep for like 30, 45 minutes and wake back up. 30, 45 minutes and wake back up for a little while. They don't sleep for a long period of time sometimes. And
Yeah,
you
on
must have never
average.
been around a stay at home mom or a mom who's off of work because when her baby sleep, unfortunately, that's not a time for her to get me time. That's a time to clean up, pick up after, try, attempt to get ahead of the next schedule before
yeah,
the
you
baby
preparing
wake up.
bottles, you gotta prepare food. It's a lot you gotta do,
You got
and
to
then she
pump.
has to sleep. So if the baby was sleeping, let's say 10 hours, she's sleeping half of that. Like her sleep is getting broken up throughout the day. So it's like she has all of these responsibilities around with the baby around the clock. So he assumes because she's a stay-at-home mother, he's not being attentive to the baby. If the baby cry, she's expected to get the baby. Matter of fact, the baby he probably can't even comfort that baby. So it's like, all right, when he gets home, he has to have a warm meal, a warm bottle. She need to burp him too. Like, when does that woman ever get a break?
I mean, she makes her own schedule. The schedule goes around the
You
baby.
don't get to make your own schedule when you have a baby. The baby makes the schedule, sir. The
I mean,
baby
yeah.
makes the
Well, I
schedule.
mean,
I don't think
she get them on the. Hey, look. Hey, I'm just answering
Do
the
you
question what I've
have kids,
seen.
Pascal?
I'm answering the question for what I've
Yeah,
seen.
even if that's the case,
No,
he
do
don't
you
want
have
to take care of
kids?
it.
I don't have any kids.
So why are you speaking on like you know how often babies
I don't
sleep?
know. I don't
So
know
why are you
how
saying
long
that?
babies
but
sleep. I'm
So
saying
why are
that
you saying they sleep for 16 hours then?
I've
Because they
seen
don't.
I've seen people say how much sleep
if your
children
baby sleep
need.
for 16 hours straight, it's
That baby is
take it to the
unalive.
hospital.
Yeah.
Um,
No, they said I don't know if it's 16, it might have been
No,
like
babies
12,
don't
14
sleep
hours or
16
something like that.
hours. No, they don't. They
You're
sleep
talking
at
about a
most
fucking,
two,
you're
three
talking about a
hour
house cat.
periods.
That's how much my cat sleeps. You're talking about a
yeah, my
domestic
dogs
house
sleep
cat.
that much too.
Like, sir.
A
Um,
newborn, they ain't sleeping 16 hours.
I don't know. I'm
It's
just
can
not
I
happening.
I'm just
can
saying
can
I'm
I
saying
say
that
something? I
women
don't.
get divorces because women still get divorced because they don't want to be the traditional type of wife and they don't like the
Do
idea
you
of
think
having to
that's
do those
valid?
things.
Do you think that's valid?
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. They valid have free will to do what they want. They don't want to be the wife rearing children, taking care of the house, and then also catering to the man. Then you're not a wife. Get a
When do the
divorce.
man cater to the wife? And don't say paying bills because he gonna be paying the bills regardless. And these your kids too. So you gonna have to do something. So when do the man cater to the woman?
I know intimate time, I guess, special time together.
No, that's
So
yeah.
now so now also too, besides having the baby, taking care of the wife and doing the cooking and doing the cleaning, she also then has to do sexual duties for her husband after a long day, and then also to take care of her husband, like you said, and then after a long day, she has to perform sexually, and then in the middle of the night, get up every periodically to take care of her baby because newborns don't sleep throughout the night. So she also got
I
to do that too.
Mm.
can I just say something real quick? Um, for the life of me, I don't understand why men, even men without kids, right? Because I don't have kids, um, nor am I married. But I can have empathy and I can see and have understanding of what married stay-at-home moms go through. And I don't understand why men see it like that, like a break, just because you're not going to work. I would rather go to work than stay at home with my kids. Like to be honest, not like that, because obviously
Mm.
I would love to raise my kids. But if you think about the dynamics, like really stop and think about it, like you at work, you don't got nobody asking you questions. You don't have people for no reason. You don't have people saying, look at this, doing something stupid, drawing on stuff they're not supposed to. You trying to feed them, they don't want to eat. They throwing stuff everywhere. They climbing on shit. Like I'm talking about my best friend. Like she a stay-at-home mom and she got 2 kids under 3, and they drive her up the wall. And when I'm there with her to give her a break or to spend some time with her, they're driving me up the wall too while we're together. So I can only imagine like what she go through day after day after day, and she don't get a break. She has to feed them. They be throwing the food. They don't want to eat the food. Like they, then, oh, what are you crying for? They fighting because they 2 boys. They be fighting each other. Oh, mom, can you fix the toy? She can't fix the toy. They start crying. Like they want to watch TV. They don't want to take a nap. One of them take a nap. The other one not taking a nap. So she got to watch after that. Like I would rather clock into work and like fucking pick my nose at my desk and hide in the bathroom. I would rather clock into work and like fucking pick my nose at my desk and hide in the bathroom and talk and kiki with my coworkers than be at home with 2 kids under the age of 3. Like
So you
it's
don't.
not the flex or luxury that y'all think it is.
I
That's a
wanted
So I
to
mean,
ask
but
I
sacrifice.
wanted to ask Pascal a question.
so
Hold
what's
on,
a
How
wife
can
then?
hold on. What
So what's a wife then?
is whatever she wanted to be? It's whatever the
Ah,
woman wants a wife to
I think that's
be.
why they get divorced because men see a wife as something else than the woman sees a wife.
can I
Sir,
ask
you're
him a
not even
question?
married.
I wanted to know how on average, if you're capable of answering this question, how many men are able to afford to have their wife stay at home? Like how many families, like in America, talking about America, how many American families are able to have one income household? Do you think it's
I'm not
most
sure.
family? Well, do you think that most families can afford to have a one income household in this economy, or do you think that only some families, or what do you think? Most, some, half?
I think that it would be a metrics of quality of life or standard of life, quality of living,
It's
its
just, do you
lifestyle.
think that most people can afford to have a one income household in this economy?
I think it depends on the size of the family and different logistics, but I think that yeah, I think that a lot of people could have afford to have a one income household, depending on the size of the family and the lifestyle they have.
Right. Well, you would be wrong. Most families, most American families, the average American family cannot afford to have a one income household, which means that for most American families, the average American family would not be able to have that wife stay at home. And so the wife does have to work. Let me ask you a question. Can you, right now, in the state that you are right now, afford to have a one income household if you had a wife and 2 children?
I believe so.
These niggas love to lie.
So
Let me
that
get
looks
you a
like, hold on,
little
because when
trucker.
men say that, them they okay with like living the bare minimum life, y'all. Like I noticed that, so they don't really stop and think about it. But let's
In the
stop and think about
trenches.
it. In like Texas, right? Off of Texas because that's like median, right? In Texas, rent or mortgage, because that's the American dream. We're gonna go off of the American dream. Mortgage is what, like
That's a
twenty five
nightmare.
hundred,
Better turn that
y'all would
nightmare to a
say?
lucid dream.
Okay, okay, hold on. But none of the nigga theatricals, please. Mortgage is like 2,500, right? We're gonna say on average. Somebody look up the averages. Um cell phone bill for you and mom only because they kids right now. Cell phone bill, let's give it like 200, 100 each line. Y'all got the new iPhones. Or let's say y'all struggle. Y'all just got 150 for an iPhone. Then life insurance. Do you want to have life insurance for your family, Pascal?
Yeah.
You have to have life insurance because if you're the sole provider, right, and you unalive, your wife has to have enough money to where she can provide for the family until she gets on her own, right? So you got to have a life insurance policy. Let's say it's like $50 a month for a good policy to cover a nice amount of change. What about retirement? Can you save 15% of your income for you and your wife? 15 for you and 15 for her.
Okay.
Do you save for retirement?
Sure.
You got enough money to save for you and your wife for retirement. 15% of your income twice.
What do you mean 15%? So 15% plus 50% equal 30%?
No, that's not how percentages work.
I'm saying, well,
15% of
I'm
your
not
in
understanding what you're saying.
so fifth you have to save 15% of your income for you. And then from that total, another 15%. So do the 15% of your income, right? And then whatever's left over, the total of that, another 15 is taken out for your wife.
Okay.
You can do that.
Sure.
Oh, okay. You don't know. Okay, got it. Do you want college funds for your kids?
Sure.
He ain't think about none of that.
Yeah,
Not
he
even, not
these
even this
No,
these men
I'm
don't
just saying. I'm just saying
they
that
don't think about none
the
of
prompt
this.
says why are women initiating divorces, and it's
But
pretty much because men
East
and
asked you
women
a
don't.
question, and we
Nah,
were talking about her
I
question.
I know what you're talking about your question, but in the context of the conversation,
I mean,
this
her
is why
question
He
this is
asked
don't
in
why
the
know.
women are
You're
context of
getting
just
the
going
divorced.
over his
conversation.
head. So he don't know if he can East. He never sat and thought about it. He and that's the thing with black men too. I would say black men are used to struggle, so they think like if I have a family, like we can struggle because
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to struggle. Like, and we have a different mindset. I feel like as black women, like we don't want to struggle, and to them, not struggling looks like we asking for too much. Like us asking
Mm.
a man to
No,
be
because
able to
I think it's
hold
more.
on,
I think it's more of a. All right, go ahead.
hold on. I'm not done. Us asking a man to make enough money to we are able to afford dental insurance, vision insurance, and health insurance for everybody in the family, right? Great, good coverage, the top coverage for us and our kids. Save for college, save for retirement, and have an emergency fund. That looks like asking for too much for these men. When it's in reality, that's responsibility. That's how you build generational wealth. They think like I don't know they think building generational wealth looks like hitting the fucking lottery or hitting a parlay. And that's not what building generational wealth is. It's setting your kids up, the next generation up for success, and for you to be successful once you cannot work anymore, right? Because most black people have to work later than Wahite people. Why do we want to still remain struggling?
Yeah, they don't understand. I don't
It's
think
like
that.
they. I'm
No,
sorry.
I think men just would rather not marry women or specifically black women when they can just find another woman in
Oh,
another
we got a
country that
But
passport, bro.
no, other
would be
women.
very, very, very glad to have an American man that makes
I'm
fifty,
But
sorry.
hold
sixty
up,
thousand
hold
dollars
Dude,
a
up,
year.
hold
Wait,
up.
I'm sorry. That was
No, no,
funny.
no, no. But those women he's talking about, no, no, no. Those women have bride prices. They have families where you're expected to do a lot of those traditional things. Like y'all, it's interesting. I know you weird, got it, but y'all
you
make
can't
it seem
even
like, oh,
afford
I
the
could just find a
horseshoe.
woman because you better go find a woman overseas or whatever. And you better tell that woman y'all gonna survive off of your income because you ain't got it like that. And a lot of times, what y'all don't realize that gentrification is happening around the world. So you're just not going to go to any old fucking country with your little bit of money and live like a fucking king. And y'all just don't measure up. It's just interesting when y'all say that.
Also, too,
And
y'all don't have
go
the
ahead.
you don't. Also, too, you don't have most Americans. You're not able to take your vocation to another country. Me personally, I'm not. I luckily I could move to any country where I want to because my vocation I could take it anywhere. But you're not going to be able to work at the Amazon warehouse in the Philippines and be able to survive. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to take your money to Thailand and they don't have a Pepsi factory over there in Thailand where you could afford to take care of your family.
But
So when y'all sit up here and be like, well, we're just gonna go get a foreign wife. Well, no, you have to go you have to go buy a foreigner. That's basically what you're doing. That's basically what you're saying. You're not,
That's exactly what passport bros do. Exactly.
yeah,
Isn't
I
that
get
what you
it. You don't have
described
to.
though?
That's
And
basically what
well,
you
I
just
mean,
described and what
women
you
in
just
America,
advocate.
women in
That's what you
America they
right. Can
basically
I finish
describe
my talking
themselves as
point?
an
Let me just
expensive
finish.
item that men can't buy. So
Can I
instead of,
finish, sir?
I'm just,
You're crashing out. You're crashing. Go ahead and
I'll let both of
pull it
y'all
back.
speak for a
Pull
spending
it back.
period of
I
time. I
wasn't done
mean,
let
speaking.
her
go ahead,
finish, and then you
go
could go
ahead,
after her.
go ahead.
Go ahead, and I would
What you're
like to go
thinking?
after you. Go ahead, Eve.
What you're thinking is that I'm going to go to a third world country and I'm going to buy a wife appliance and I'm going to usually have to bring her back here because you don't have the skills or the trade to take whatever you're doing here in the United States and bring it to another country because there's going to be far more people better qualified and they're probably going to want to hire their own people in their own country. They're not going to give you as a black man that job. So they're going to keep it in their to their own people to their own country. So you're going to then bring a woman that is used to living in a third world society. But you know what happens when you bring people from one country here to America?
They
They
assimilate.
they
Oh,
assimilate, baby. You can hey
answer
They
your
become
question,
real
teacher.
Americanized.
quick,
Answer
real
your
quick. And
question, teacher.
they
Did I get it
assimilate.
right? Do I get a gold star?
Oh, baby, you got an A
Yeah,
plus
you
plus
get a
plus
gold
plus.
star. Give her a
Okay.
cookie.
How'd I know?
So when y'all sit up here and think that it's gonna be so simple, all I gotta do is just go buy some poor foreign woman, and I could bring her here, and so she could live in absolute destitute poverty in my studio apartment, and she will forever think that this is luxury. It's not because you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna put a baby inside of her, and that woman is going to step outside. She's going to end up taking the baby to doctor's appointments, taking the baby, having play dates with the baby. She's going to see the life that other American women live. And you know what she's going to look at? She's going to look at you and say, what the fuck am I doing?
You know
This
that
is
show on ID
Hold
called
on, hold
Dangerous
on,
Women?
Can I respond?
hold on,
you don't got
Phoenix.
to
Let him
respond to
respond
everything.
so I can
I'm just saying. I
hold
mean,
on.
in the defense
Hold
of the
on.
men
I
of
told him he
why
can
they're
respond and
mentioning
I was gonna
divorce,
go after him. Hold on. Go ahead, Pascal.
what I was just saying is that I mean, women in America, they do put a certain type of requirement on men that men believe they can't reach or they can't meet. So they go with their other options and then they end up going to a foreign country, if not to find a wife, just to find a playmate to have fun with. And then they experience that and they come back and they go to their studio apartment, one bedroom apartment, play video
And
games until the
then
next
you turn
time they can
80.
go out and have fun in a different
Video
country.
games is crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it ultimately is. That I think women believe that men want a wife, they want a maid, live in there, do all this.
So
They don't really want that.
if you can't even afford to have an American woman, how are you going to be able to afford to go travel consistently to get your rocks off? You're gonna go there one
What's
time,
consistently? I
but
mean,
you're gonna
two, three
go there
times a
one.
year. That's good enough.
So you're gonna only go okay if you cool with paying for
And then
coochie three times a year.
get with some promiscuous women here that
But
would
you
do
can't
whatever.
afford the promiscuous women. If that was the case, you wouldn't be traveling for coochie.
Yeah, what's the point of
No,
getting
because the
married? Hold
promiscuous
up, hold
women
up,
in
hold up,
America,
sir.
they're
Pascal.
just for
Pascal, hold
everybody.
up.
So I mean,
Explain this
they're
to
not
me.
as exclusive
Hold up, Pascal.
A
If
what?
you haven't, hold up,
as a foreigner.
sir, you sleeping with a woman with promiscuous women here. Got it. What?
No, I don't do that. I
Why do
don't do
you want
that.
to have a wife overseas?
I didn't say I want that wife
No,
overseas. I'm
The way
saying,
you, no. Why would a man who is dating promiscuous women in the U.S. What's the point of having a wife overseas?
see, y'all not understanding. Men that go overseas and passport bros, they're not looking for like a wife. Like they're gonna
And
make the woman,
sleep with
the woman. They're
children.
gonna make that woman the the
No. They're
emblem of their
predators and they're sleeping with
inspiration.
children. But that's the point. It doesn't make sense. You're talking about
It
going
does make sense
overseas,
for the.
but
It does
then
make
you're
sense for
still
the
dating
pleasures of the
women here.
flesh of
Makes no
men.
sense.
So
Does make
do
Go
sense.
ahead,
you
Lynn.
Men
Go ahead,
men are
Lynn.
looking
Hold
for
up,
the
Pascal.
fulfillment of the
Hold
pleasures of
up,
their flesh,
Pascal. Hold up,
and
Pascal.
they
Go
can
ahead,
achieve
Lynn.
that
Hold up,
with a
Pascal. Hold
foreigner.
up.
Pascal,
Yes.
Relax.
Ew.
Silencio. Um, so this is the thing. Asking for a man to be able to save for retirement, save for your kids' college funds, and save for an emergency fund is asking for too much
got it?
when it's literally responsibility. Like that's how
Does the
you
man
build
want
well.
that though? That's the thing. He doesn't want that.
Hold on.
Asking the man to do
It
something he doesn't want, it
hold
is too
on,
much.
You don't
sir,
listen.
sir, sir. I don't want to mute you, Pascal. So please, silencio. Um, and it don't matter if he don't want it because those are things he gonna have to do anyway, minus the children's college fund. Like, what you gonna retire poor and just live as a homeless person, like, or work until you fucking 80? Who the fuck wanna do that? These niggas be 20 talking about I'm gonna retire at 45 and like not even doing nothing to reach those goals. Like, let's be fucking serious. You have to save for retirement as an adult. You have to pay for health insurance as an adult. You have to have an emergency fund as an adult. That's why y'all are so fucking miserable because y'all are not responsible adults. Like, and then you turn 45 and you start realizing, like, oh shit, I should have been doing this all along. And you finally set it up. And that's why y'all think, like, oh yeah, now I can reach back and get a younger woman because I finally did the adult things that I was supposed to do, even though I already had 4 or 3 baby mamas. I can finally get married. That's fucking crazy. If I turn 20, we're not even gonna count 18 and 19, and I start saving for shit at the age of 20 and putting up money here and there, right? Or if I turn 30 and start doing it, you will be able to be financially stable. It wouldn't take that long, but motherfuckers just don't want to do it. Just fucking say that, especially if you do it with somebody else. But don't no woman want to be unprepared. Women are the responsible ones, and y'all always talking about protector and provider of fucking what? Of fucking what?
You know
When
what,
saving
Lynn?
for retirement is too much. That's fucking crazy.
But you know what, Lynn? He basically just kind of proved a prompt. He basically said that men don't want to do all of those things. Men don't want to save up money to for their children to have a college fund. They don't want to save up money for his family to enjoy an annual vacation. Not even a winter vacation and a summer vacation. Just one vacation. Men would rather satisfy their flesh. These are all of the things that he just said, and they'll go back to their studio apartment and play the video game, and then you have the nerve to come up here and say women don't want to be wives. Why would a woman want to be a wife and spend the rest of her life with a man like that?
I'm answering the prompt. And when women don't,
Wow.
and if there is a man that has all these things, that is very well off, very wealthy, has all of the things
No
set up
one's,
for his
hold on. No one's
children,
asking for
has
very
his all
wealthy.
these things for his children, the
Those things are
college
achievable at
funds,
like
the
middle
Let him finish,
retirement
class.
Lynn. Let him
funds.
finish. Go ahead. Finish what you say. What? If
If
there's
there is
really
a
a
man
role?
that if there is a
Huh?
man that has all of these things, like you guys say, that man that a woman would want to marry, then that man is going to want a, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what that man wants, but ideally, if that's the type of man that he is, then he would want a wife that has the traditional type of roles of being the caretaker, taking care of the children, taking care of the home while he is out
Right,
there
but you
doing
just
what he
said
needs to do
that.
as a man.
But you just
But
said
the
that you're
majority of
that. Hold
men
on, wait,
don't
wait, hold
have
on, wait,
that
wait,
and don't
wait.
do that.
But
So
a
instead of
majority
I
of
doing
even
that,
men
have
don't
that.
wait. A majority of men don't have that and do that. But you just said you think most men can afford a stay-at-home wife and two kids. You just
they
said
can
you
with the
just
lifestyle that they want.
wait. You just said that. And then you said that you believe that you even went as far as saying that you would be able to
But clearly
afford
he
a wife
can't.
and two kids.
With
But
the
Clearly
lifestyle
he's
that I
now,
not.
want.
but
How
now
old
most
are
men
you,
don't have that.
Pascal? How old are
With
you,
the lifestyle
Pascal?
that I mean, let's just be real. A
How old
lot
are
of
you,
women they
Pascal?
know that these men that they know that these men don't have the resources, the monies to actually accomplish the things that these women
Okay,
want
all
them to
right.
Pascal,
So
do.
hold
have
on,
so
They
hold
don't
these.
on,
have the money
hold
to
on.
pay
No,
for the
I need to get this
$3,000
out. I need to
apartment
get this out. Wait, okay,
or
so you just
mortgage. They
said,
don't have
so
all the
therefore,
monies to
wait,
buy the
Pascal,
Benz and
Pascal,
things.
Pascal,
So they
relax,
say these
relax.
men
You
are
talk too
unqualified.
damn
Cool it.
much.
Relax,
So
bro,
these men
relax.
is
Relax,
decide to be
sir. We get it,
qualified
we get
women
it, we get it, we get
in
it. You're
foreign
losing and
countries.
you want to overtalk and now you're trying to, you could do that with
No,
your
I'm
little
just
girlfriend, but you're
being,
not
I'm
going to
just
do that
want to get
here.
Hold on,
my point
Pascal.
out,
So
Hold
and I'm being
on.
cut
you
off.
just said that most men can't afford that, which means that
Can't
most men
afford,
that
okay, they can't afford what they are, what you are
what
describing as what you want.
most so
Uh,
you just said most men can afford a basic simple lifestyle because
That's
that's
not
what
basic and simple.
So
a,
hold on. That's what I'm trying
but
to get at is like let's be clear here, and all the men in the room who are listening. Pascal, how old are you?
I'm 30.
You're 30 years old, and you're not thinking about retirement. You're not thinking about health insurance. You're not thinking about college funds if you have children, an emergency saving account. That's too
I'm thinking of
much.
emergency saving
that's too
accounts and all of
much.
these things, yes, but um, college funds and all of this, I don't really see my kids going to college. I want
you
my
Oh my
kids to
So
become
she's
God.
right.
entrepreneurs on their own. I mean, if they go
So
college to
Liv is
become a
right. Liv
scientist, an
is right.
engineer, if they're
so
going
you
to
just
college
want
for
your
like
so
something
you
like
want your
chemical
kids to just
engineering,
wallow in
if they're
poverty
learning the
with you?
thermodynamics, if they're learning the
So
thermodynamics
you want your
of
kids to
aqueous
wallow in
solutions and
poverty
things,
When
with
then
you?
yes,
will
You
go to
don't want them to
college. But
go
if
to
you want to go to
college?
college just to get a
You don't
degree,
want
then
your
no.
will
kids to go to
he's crashing
college?
out.
You don't understand like a degree in the humanities is just as much valuable as it is for STEM. We need
But it's
people who
not
can
though, because
read.
if it's
We
just as
need people
valuable,
who
then
read.
you
We
should be
need
able to get
people
a
who can
job
teach. We need
making
people to
just
do
as valuable
research.
money.
We need people to teach people how to critically think. Those are skills that come in the humanities and social sciences. We need people in the arts, not just as well as in STEM. It's a balanced thing. So you're
Yeah,
willing to
I'm
let
just
your
saying
children
that when it
squalor in
comes to real
poverty
world,
because they don't want to join STEM or be an engineer. That is
What
foolish behavior.
it's funny that it's funny, it's so fucking funny. And this is what I woke up and text Mia. Let me get my shit off real quick, y'all. It's gonna be quick. I text Mia last night. I said, you know what? I thought about it, and I agree with partially of what you were saying last night about the movie Sinners, but let me tell you how I agree with it. It is fucking sad, it is utterly ridiculous that no matter how many fucking movies we see about slavery or movies that they showing, they giving hints and they giving shit. Oh, sinners. It show all the shit that we went through as black people. Yada yada bookie bookie boo boo blah blah blah. We see all those shit. It don't matter how many fucking hidden messages, how many fucking J. Cole's, Kendrick Lamar's, and niggas out there who rapping about the truth and y'all know the shit is fucking happening to us, y'all don't give a fuck. Cause to fucking sit up here and think that education don't matter, y'all believe the fucking lie of white people. When they send their kids to college by the fucking boatload, college to them is like a high school diploma. But y'all believe fucking rich white people lying to y'all when their fucking kids go to college too. They send their they pay fucking college tuition for their kids to go to fucking private school, but they say education don't matter. And y'all sit up there like dummies and be like, it don't matter. You right, education don't matter. While they send their kids to schools away from y'all fucking asses. And then
Mm.
y'all sit here and complain and say, oh, it's not fair. Asian people get ahead. Asian people get ahead. The Indian, and I'm talking about East Indian people get ahead. They're the richest people in America. They got the most household income in America. Asian people do. You know why? You know why?
I know why.
Education,
It's because
education.
they
No,
have a
it's
country
because
with a
of
bank, centralized
education.
bank, and a line of credit
No,
that
No,
can
you
afford that
no,
fucking
education.
idiot.
no,
Which is
No,
why
it's
no, it's
Donald
not.
Trump
not.
is
No, it's
why Donald
not.
Trump is
Shut
trying to
the
Pascal,
stop.
that's
fuck
not
up.
it.
Shut up.
Oh God,
Y'all
he's
want
a
to
Trump
believe, hold
supporter.
on, East, hold on. Y'all want to believe every fucking dumbass conspiracy theory but the fucking truth. That make more sense to you than Asian people go to school and get educated and they get medium income jobs. So they have a healthy and robust medium, middle class.
There we go.
Asian people have a healthy and robust middle class and upper middle class. Majority of them are in that, which brings numbers together, which in totality equals a high earning potential for Asian people. That doesn't make any sense. Y'all would rather believe a fucking dumbass conspiracy theory. Y'all will search high and low for a fucking conspiracy theory. Yet we know that they wanted to keep us uneducated. Literally, they stopped slaves from reading. And y'all don't believe that shit. Like, y'all will let that shit go over your head. But, oh, a central bank in the middle of Asia that provides them with money. No, stupid. No. They literally get middle class jobs and they literally open businesses in our community. Y'all are
Mm-hmm.
fucking dumb. You're an idiot. I don't want to hear no fucking conspiracy theory. Shut up with
Not a
And the
that
cent-
shit.
conspiracy. It's
and the
Yes,
factual.
it is. It's
central
a
bank is not even
conspiracy theory.
true.
Go to hell.
Right.
Like the centralized banking is not even true. Most of the
What's not true
waves of
about centralized banking?
most of the waves of immigration from the east into Americas were people escaping poverty earlier on. It wasn't until the second win in the
But
80s
the
when they had more
individuals,
prosperity. Hold
Interrupting
on, let me
her.
finish. It wasn't until the second and third wave of immigration from the east to the 80s that you start seeing people with higher education, doctors, teachers, doctors, lawyers, writers, artists, art historians, coming into college professors, coming into the nation to bolster the buffer between Black Americans and white Americans. But needless to say, all that to say, it wasn't no fucking centralized banking system. Because if that's what the case, they would have stayed in their countries.
I'm
Also
just saying
too,
that
wait,
all I was
because
saying
you
is
wait.
that
Let me go. Let me
You ain't
jump in.
saying
Let me get a
shit
little.
because you're
I
Give me
was
a
dumb.
second.
saying that she said that why did they come here and they do so well in the education system? It's because they usually come here
Because they're
from
already
their
Because we
educated.
country.
They are
value
already
It's usually
teachers.
Chinese people that come here from
It's
their
not
communist
usually
country
Chinese people.
and they
It's
have their
not.
entire
It's
tuition paid
Indian
for
people. First of all,
to
it's
get their
Indians. It's
Yeah,
degree in
not
Indian people.
America.
Chinese.
It's not Chinese
Pascal's
people. First of
Indians. It's
all,
Indian
it's
people.
Indian
It's Indian
people.
people, Chinese. It's middle.
And
It's
They
not
come.
Indian
They
Chinese
is
come
the
with
people.
most
credit.
poor
They come with lines of
country.
credit and they
Are
pay
you? No,
the
they
exorbitant.
No, they
don't. No,
don't.
they
They
do
do come here.
not.
They do come.
No,
No,
they
they
Why?
don't,
don't.
sir.
And so,
They
They
okay,
okay.
don't.
hold on, pause. So black people don't have lines of credit?
Not
It's
from
called a
they do
social
not have
security
black people do
number.
not have lines of credit from centralized banks in their home countries
Yes,
that
we
Yes,
afford
do.
them their
we
own
Yes, we
country.
do. What are
do.
you
Yes,
talking
we
What
do.
country?
I
What
about?
have a
country?
line
What
of
are you
What
credit.
country?
talking about?
No, you don't have a line
From
of
their foreign
credit.
country, not in America.
They don't have a line of
America
credit from
is
their
our
foreign country. They
country,
gave that up.
pendejo.
I'm just saying, I know personally individuals
No,
that
you
from
don't. You don't
Asia.
know shit.
I know
You
people
don't
from
know
Japan, from
nothing.
China
First
that
of
No,
all,
have
you
their
you
know
entire
don't.
everybody.
You don't
tuition
know
paid
You know
for in
all
shit.
of the
America.
divorce fathers. You
You
know
don't
the
know
divorcing,
anyone.
the stay-at-home mothers. Now you know a bunch of Asian people. Like, sir, stop lying.
I
You've
can
been up
name
here
about 5
lying
right
since
now
you
that had
opened
No,
your
you
free
mouth.
can't.
You've
education in
been
America.
lying. Since you opened your mouth, you have been lying. The point is to go all the way back to the very beginning, because this is what men do. They pivot, 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 pivot. And now we so motherfucking off the topic because he doesn't want to admit that he made an ass of himself 20, 30 minutes ago. Now we're talking about centralized banking, when in reality, the first conversation that we had was, why are women why are women initiating divorces? Now the nigga got us talking about motherfucking Asians in centralized countries. This is why I hate talking to
'Cause y'all
men.
talk about
Shut
money.
shut
And
up,
come back to
boy.
money.
Shut up. You shut up. I'm talking. Have some self-control. You are 30 years old. You're not a child. Your frontal lobe has developed. Have
I
some
am a
fucking
child in God's
emotional
eyes, my
intelligence and
queen.
be able to
A
wait your
child of God is
motherfucking turn.
crazy.
Anyways, this man just sat up here and proved the entire prompt right. The reason why women are initiating divorces is
I
because
proved the
men like
question
him
right.
are mentally and spiritually failures. They are mental failures. They are emotional failures. The man just said that first of all, he contradicted himself so many times I lost count. At first he said, oh well, men don't want to most men can afford to have most men this is what he said, most men in the United States can afford to have a stay-at-home wife and can afford to have 2 kids that she stays at home. And when we tried to and then he said that most men can't afford to have a stay-at-home wife and
Can't
can't afford
afford y'all's standard.
You are so mad that you're about to get fucking cooked, that
I don't care to be real. It's just entertainment.
your ego is jumping out. It's so fragile that
No
you can't
ego.
even take this. You can't even take it. Just take it like a fucking man. Anyways, he sat up
I'm a
here and
child.
contradicted himself. Trust me, baby, I already know. And said that most
Then
men
why
can't
treat me as a
afford
man
those
if I'm a
things.
child?
Most men can't afford those things,
He
right?
is not no
So
fucking child. Shut up. You a grown ass man. You 30 and don't know nothing about retirement. You are a man. You are just a slow man.
So now that leads to us saying that because most men cannot afford, now that he told the truth and said, yes, most men cannot afford a stay-at-home wife, that means, to get back to the fucking prompt, that means that most men and most women that are married, the woman is working. So the woman is going to work. But as he said earlier when he first got on the panel, that the men are expecting women to cook, clean, and take care of the children. He even went as far as to say that the divorced women that he knows told him personally, I don't want to be treated like a maid. I want to be treated like a wife. He literally looked at that as a negative, that she says she didn't want to be treated as a maid. She wanted to be treated as his spouse. And this is why women are divorcing men, because men are fucking failures. Financially, emotionally, and mentally. You are a failure. Thank you for proving the point.
Okay, I'll be there. I ain't worried about it. I'm not looking for
That's
no
not something
prize.
you
I'm
should
not
be
looking at a
proud of.
prize. I'm not looking at a woman that doesn't want to be a wife, and whatever
And
that
you're not
is.
a
And I
prize
define what
either.
that is.
So,
So
so
I
it don't
mean,
You're
matter
not a
because you're
prize
not. Hold
either.
on, real quick. It don't matter. So you're not a husband, and you're not a husband for a reason. So like you got all these expectations, but sir, you're not married. You
I don't have expectations. I have standards of what I want, and I don't
What do
expect
you
the
think
woman to meet
standards
my
are?
standards.
You
What do
don't
you think
have
standards
standards.
are? Standards are expectations, dum dum.
I mean, I don't have the standards y'all have for
You don't have
men.
any standards for
Y'all
yourself.
want men to do
You
this,
don't
that, and
have
the
any
third.
standards for yourself. You are so
Are any of y'all
pathetic.
wives?
It's not even funny. You're not even
Are
a
any of you
boyfriend.
are any of you
You're
women
not even a
wives?
friend. You're an
Sir,
it.
Wait a minute. Wait, real quick.
Are any of you women wives?
You are talking to women that are speaking that we are actively engaging in a conversation about how marriage is not beneficial to women. And you're gonna try and say, well, are any of you wives? As if we're advocating to become, as if that's something that, does that make sense to you? Does that sound like something that we want? We're hosting a live. All of these women are hosting a live talking about how marriage is not really beneficial to women. And now you're going to try to neg us and say, well, you're not wives. We don't want to be. Like, that's like asking you, why aren't you in prison? Do you want to be in prison? No. That's the
I am
reason
in
why. The same
prison.
reason why you don't want to take your black ass to prison is the same
I am in
reason why
prison.
Oh, stop
same
that.
reason why we don't want to be motherfucking wives. So every time you ask yourself to ask a woman, well, why aren't you married? Ask your motherfucking self, why don't I want to go to prison?
That's
Prison is
such a false.
valid.
That's such a false
That's
Fucking
equivalency. It's kind
no,
of
that's an
childish.
sickening.
equivalency. That's
It's such.
equal.
It's a false equivalency.
No,
It's
it's
kind of
not.
sickening.
No, it's not.
The define a false
There's men in
equivalency.
prison
No, we're not gonna
for
define
mind
it.
altering
This is not.
substances that they engaged
No,
in
no, no, no,
themselves.
no, no, no. You had
Their own
women
will.
describe to you that it was like a prison, so that's valid.
I've had women describe to me as if they
Yeah,
were
based
like
on what you
yearning
said.
to
Yeah, she
be.
said, "I don't want to
I've
be his
also had
man."
women that are. I've also had women tell me that
Yeah,
they
we know. You know
love
everybody.
being
Hold up,
wives,
though. Hold up, though.
love taking care of
That shit is
kids,
valid.
love
Sir,
Lies.
you're not married though. You're not
Lies.
married. You're not.
Okay.
You have not been married. No one has picked you, sir.
Women don't pick. I pick.
Sir,
Women
you
don't
have
pick.
not been picked.
Women don't get
She
on their
still has
knees
to
and
say
pick the men.
yes.
Men get on
Nah,
their
she
knees
still
and
has
If
to
pick
you
the
say
get on
men.
your
yes.
knees,
And no one said
Yeah,
yes
and
to
there's a
you.
lot of women I've declined
sir, if you're
that
on
wanted
your
to take care
knees,
of
you're
me,
trying
but
to get
that just
picked.
don't make sense.
Sir, if you're on your knees, you are trying to get picked. It's
You're
simple as
literally
that.
begging. You're begging on your knees. Please pick me, stupid boy.
I don't
Gina,
think that's what it
please.
is. I think when a man tries to get on one knee
You
for
don't
a
have a
woman
right
that he
to think.
loves,
You don't have a right to think at this point.
when a
You're too
man gets
dumb
on
to
his
think.
knees, when a man gets on his
You're
knees and
begging.
wants to marry a
That's
woman,
begging. That
they
is
want to
begging.
make that woman his
You're
They want the
emblem
begging.
of
woman. No, they want the
inspiration.
Hold on,
woman to
y'all. Let him
choose.
talk. Let him talk, y'all.
I'm just saying that when I see men that get on their knees and want to make that woman his wife, they're making that his wife because they see her as the inspiration of his life. So
That
that makes
sounded
sense
so
to
damn
me.
stupid.
That make what you think it's stupid for a man to make a woman the inspiration of his life, aka his
That is
wife, where he
stupid.
wants
Why
to
would you?
a
Why would you put that responsibility on someone else instead of doing that for yourself?
responsibility to make someone the emblem
That
of
is
his
no.
inspiration.
That is your. You are your own. You are responsible for your own happiness. Why would
So
you put that
that
responsibility on
there
someone
we
else?
finally get to what it really is the
No,
root of
we
this,
haven't finally
why
got
women
to
are
any. No,
initiating
we
divorces.
haven't. We
Because they
have
don't want to
not.
be the emblem of a man's
Pascal,
inspiration of
you're
his
too
life.
dumb. You're too stupid. This conversation is
Ah,
above your bandwidth
my
because you don't
bandwidth.
understand. It is.
I,
You
I'm
should
I'm
not
this
seek
bandwidth.
wholeness from someone else. Your wholeness should come from you, yourself, and your ego. That's it.
Exactly why I have not have a
If you're
wife,
relying on
because
someone
and why
else
a
to
lot
make
of
yourself
men
fulfilled, then you are
are
not a
not
complete human
marrying these
being,
women.
and you should not get married. In fact, you shouldn't even have a partner until you're able to be with yourself by yourself. It is no one else's responsibility to make you a whole person. That is on you.
But here's the thing. I've answered this question. I've yet to hear anyone
You
else
didn't
answer this
answer
question.
shit. You've been doing parables and negatheticals and what ifs and parables the whole damn time. You're not married.
You
You
think
don't
so?
have kids. You don't have empathy. You don't understand geopolitics. You don't even understand the politics of marriage in itself and where it comes from. This conversation is above your bandwidth. You are
I don't think
content and
so.
comfortable with being the bare bottom minimum.
I'm not the
But
bare bottom
even
minimum.
if we go
You
back
are
to
the bare bottom.
hold up real
I've had a
quick.
lot of
Even hold
women
up,
who
hold up,
wanted to
Pascal.
marry
Hold up,
me,
Pascal.
like
Hold up. You're not married. Here's the thing. Let's go back to this because your point when Lynn was going over the expectations of things you need to set up for your child, right? You went, I don't expect my children to go to college. That's the wrong answer. The
I
answer
said,
is hold
unless
up,
they're studying
pause.
something
I muted you
significant.
for a reason. The thing is, it's not, well, if they don't go to college, do you have the money in case they do want to go to college? So what you're saying is I prioritize being the sole provider over my child's future. You're not fit to be a father, sir. You're not equipped for it. You would rather be a sole provider than live in a 2-house income where y'all can save money in case your child wants to go to college. That's idiotic. You are a selfish person and you put yourself first. So when your child come to you and say, well, I wanted to go to college, you're going to say, go get some loans.
So why do you think women are initiating divorces?
Nigga, we just said it. What the fuck?
And when you know what,
So
Tara?
so
Hold
so
on, real
so what I
quick.
heard was so
You
can
know
I
what,
can I
Tara?
believe can I
And
tell
when
you
he
what I
go
think I
tell his
heard?
kids
Stay
to go,
puff, stay
when he go
puff.
tell his daughter to go get a loan, he gonna get on TikTok and be like, "Black women are the most in debt from student loans."
No,
Getting useless
you
degrees
said
in
that you answered the
education in
question.
English. Oh my god, nigga,
I
we
don't
just
bel I
answered a
no one has answered the
question.
question.
Do you
So
not
what was the answer to the
listen? Are
question?
your ears not working? Do you not
I might
comprehend?
have
Did
misheard you.
you
Maybe
not
repeat it for
graduate
me,
high
please.
school? Did you not get an associate's degree? What the fuck are we doing?
I'm a college graduate, but may I
I highly
please
doubt
Hold up,
that.
make
I doubt that.
Hold up, pause. What you got your degree in, sir?
I got my degree in philosophy and political science.
You the
No,
motherfucking
you didn't, you
philosophical
fucking piece of
goddamn
shit.
lie, sir. Shut your ass up.
Liar. A
This
liar.
nigga so
I'm
fucking
lying
Because
about
lying.
what I
Yeah,
Hold
studied
up,
because
in
y'all. Hold up,
college.
y'all.
Okay.
Hold up,
yes.
y'all.
so you can go get a
Yeah.
college
Hold up,
degree.
y'all. Hold up, y'all.
But
Hold up, y'all.
oh,
Because wasn't y'all talking about the humanities earlier? So you support the humanities.
I do support the
Exactly, we
humanities, but
were.
I don't believe that it's actually of value and productive,
So okay,
It
like
so
is a
actually
hold up,
value.
productive
hold
society.
up, hold up. So have you not been able to find value with your own degree, sir?
I found value in actually having the degree and having the knowledge and being
How
articulate
so?
enough
How
to
so?
being the ability to articulate my thoughts and communicate correctively
Do you
or
feel like it was a
corrective.
mistake? Do you feel like it was a mistake?
I don't feel like it's a mistake. I feel like it would have been better
Okay,
if I
that's a
would have focused.
contradiction. That's a
It's not a
contradiction.
mistake.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
not a
no,
mistake.
no. That's a contradiction because you're telling us, and I don't believe you, by the way, but you're telling us you have your degree in political science and philosophy, right? Two
Yes, ma'am.
of the humanities. Humanities.
Yes.
Those are social science. Hold up. And at the same time, you don't find value in that. But when it turns back on you, oh, it is a valuable thing to have. That's a weird ass contradiction.
and then you know what else, Tara?
It's not as valuable.
He get to have
Not
he
valuable.
gets to have a valuable degree, but your motherfucking babies can't.
I
Like
believe
what?
that a degree, a
Also, to
different
add
degree, is
on
more valuable.
to
Your
that,
children
if he
can't have a degree?
I think a
if he
degree in chemical
was, if
engineering
he
is
did
a
have
little bit more
if he
valuable than a
did
degree
have
in
a degree
philosophy.
in philosophy and political science, he would have told us what he specialized in of the philosophies and political science. He would have gave us a specialty, but he didn't.
Epistemology and eschatology.
Was what?
The
Now he
study
just
of
saying
not the
words.
study of what distinguishes truth from mere opinion, which is epistemology,
Did you get
and
your sir?
eschatology, the
Did you
study
get
of
your
salvation,
degree from Everest, sir?
theology.
Because hold up.
Jesus.
You're saying words and your arguments are not lining up. Like you're contradicting yourself. But you say you want your child to get a degree in what again?
He said
Something of
STEM.
the science, the technology, or mathematics. Something
You
that was
can't have
So hold up. So
technology
you
with
Hold
hold
on,
up, Prince.
Phoenix. Y'all gotta
Yeah, you be
listen.
interrupting, Prince.
When Tara's talking, don't cut her off. And one at a time, regardless of if you don't like what the person's saying.
So you feel like if you have children, you have the right to determine what they do with their future. Did somebody do that to you, sir?
I would like to say that I have a influence in my child's direction in their future.
For the children that you don't have.
I don't have children. I'm saying
So
that parents should
it's
have
very
that
telling.
interest
This is
in
the
their
telling thing.
child's development.
This is a telling thing. You have no wife. You have no children. You might be infertile. And at this point, you're literally saying you know everything that goes into being a marriage, what a wife is supposed to do, how children should be raised, you know what you need to save up for. You got it all planned out. Matter of fact, you're gonna go overseas and find that woman I guess you're gonna leave the child with her and only see your child 3 times a year. Nothing you say or saying is adding up. You all over the fucking place because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I never really said I'd agree with what I was saying. I was saying from the
You never said you
conversation of the
agree with what
social
you were
sphere.
saying. Hold up, sir.
I'm
Let me
saying from
say
my
back what you. No,
analysis
no,
of
no,
the
no, no.
social
Let me say
sphere.
back to what you just
Okay,
said,
go ahead.
sir. You said I never said I agreed to what I was saying.
I
That's
was saying that
stupid.
I was giving an analysis of why women are initiating
No,
divorce and from where the
no. You
conversation
said I
directed.
never agreed to what I was saying.
I said I was giving an
No.
analysis of the
Process that,
social
sir. You
atmosphere
said you
of
never
why
agreed to
it's
what you
happening.
were saying. That's stupid.
I never agreed to the narrative of what's actually being put out there, and I was articulating what I've heard.
Y'all got it. This nigga dumb.
No, I was just saying that's what it was, but it's been a nice conversation of why
No, it
women are initiating
hasn't.
divorce because
No, it hasn't.
I guess the fundamental thing
Now this
is
shit was funny. This shit was
I mean, it
funny.
was funny.
the
It was funny in
direction
a
of your
sad
children's
way because this is
funds, and I
ridiculous.
decided you're not supposed to do that.
Because this is
It pre-
ridiculous.
Not funny,
This
haha.
is
Funny, weird.
Exactly.
Yeah, but okay.
Oh God.
I never heard anything else but the money
With a
deal or
philosophy degree.
a
What the
Like
fuck is
philosophy degree.
philosophy
philosophy and
degree?
political
Yeah, I mean, because the
philosophy and
knowledge of what
political
you're saying is
science.
the
He's
direction of
analyzing.
where relationships are going to go. You're saying a relationship with another woman is in a relationship, a woman or a male is ultimately over what is produced from that relationship. And if it's a child that's produced from that relationship, then you need to have this, that, third, and all put together. But at the end of the day, what is the actual relationship about if it's not roles?
I don't agree with the
And
point that I
the
just said.
roles on why women are feeling like they're maids to a man, and
Sir,
that's
you just
probably the best
talking. You just
role or
talking.
dynamic you can
You,
have
you sound like
with
Bill
a
Yeah,
Nye
young
the
female.
Science
he's.
Guy.
Oh wait, hold on. Not too much on Bill Nye. Bill Nye
No,
actually knows what he's talking about.
who's the Clear Eyes guy? You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about? The
the
Clear Eyes, the
Ben
Bueller.
Stein or something like that?
Yeah,
clear
that's
eye, dry eye, clear eye.
eyes. He about to put a bitch to sleep. Nah, y'all. I'm sorry, Bill Nye, my man. That's
Can I just
Y'all done ran that man on.
uh it's okay. He about things he's saying. I would really like to have this conversation with just the girls because y'all hear that shit like let's come on, let's do the case study, y'all. We really got to talk about that shit because first of all, I would love to point out that men think that having security is asking for too much. And that's fucking crazy. They also are upset that their mamas control they.
You going out.
The bar's got you, Lynn. The bar's got you, Lynn.
That's why they don't like having
No,
certain
Nolan.
jobs.
Nolan. You went out. You got to start over.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
I
ran off,
said
Therese.
I said these men, one, they think having like safety and security is asking for too much when like literally those things should be the bare minimum to most Americans, but they're not the bare minimum to most Americans. But I would say if you are getting married as a woman, that needs to be the bare minimum. Alone, it's probably hard to do it, but together, oh motherfucker, those are the plans. Like have financial goals set up. Like don't go into no shit with no man and just be free balling the shit. Cause a motherfucker will have you living in poverty. Okay? You gonna be retiring with debt and in poverty. You gonna run out of money. You gonna outlive your money and not be able to afford Social Security. one, don't do that to yourself as a woman. If you have these conversations that we just had with a man, like, and taking a man serious, and he don't have those answers, Sway, then I'm sorry, that's not the man for you. I'm speaking to every single woman who listening to me right now. If you decide to, y'all living paycheck to paycheck, I don't know what he there for. I really and truly don't. What are you here for? Because together we should be able to do that shit. That should be a non fucking factor. And this man talking about you asking for too much. That's what's wrong with y'all. Y'all want to be upper middle class and pretend and fake and phony. And y'all want to lie y'all way into these protector and provider positions. Like, y'all just want a
Mhm.
bitch to get with you and lie about the shit. When y'all don't know nothing about providing. Y'all don't know nothing about providing security and building wealth. How the fuck you gonna do it if you ain't learning, nigga? The fuck you talking about? And having an emergency fund, having a stack of cash set aside is asking for too much. But we supposed to believe that y'all gonna be providers and millionaires. Get the fuck out my face. To land, I just want to say this real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. A man, these men are mad and they don't like to be controlled. That's why they don't like having normal jobs, right? Because they don't like people telling them what to do. Yet they want to get a child, and have a wife to direct them and tell them what to do and lead their life into fucking hell. Because if you went to school for a social science degree and you're not doing nothing with your degree, or like at least making a comfortable life for yourself outside of the degree, that's your fucking fault, sir. That is your fucking fault. There are ways that we can make money out here, and I ain't saying you got to be perfect, but don't give up. Like, don't stop trying. Like, this nigga talking about if you ain't getting a chemical engineer degree, then my kids they ain't going to college. Why the fuck y'all want to control people so fucking much? Y'all wish if y'all mama control, y'all daddy was there to control y'all more, y'all think y'all would have a better life, but that nigga wasn't shit either. He wasn't gonna do nothing but ruin your credit, bitch ass.
That motherfucker was a philosophical liar. He ain't had no goddamn degree in philosophy and so in political science. He was a goddamn liar. Everything that came out that boy mouth from the moment that he opened up them crusty ass lips was a damn lie. And that goes to show you that what's so scary is that a man will be willing to lie to total strangers to prove a point that doesn't really fucking matter. We just strangers on the internet, just talking, just yapping amongst each other. But you will hop up on a panel and just lie. Like that don't that's sick. You nigga, you is sick. Imagine going to a people, y'all, like for real. Imagine y'all go to a panel and hop up on a panel, and to disprove their point, you start lying and start making shit up.
I don't know, girl. I know a bunch of bitches who did that shit to me. That motherfucking thumb sucker never said that I said I was gonna take Public's platform down. Motherfucking just don't like period liars, period. I don't give a fuck what gender you are. Unless you a motherfucking kid, what the fuck is you lying for? I hate a lying ass motherfucker. I really do.
And then he tried to
Lying to
throw
prove a
us.
point is ridiculous.
And then he tried to throw us off and be like, yeah, that's why they don't want black women. We ain't gonna take the bone. We ain't taking that bone. Go ahead and tell us what you want to do when you go get a foreign wife. Like that's what they'll do. They'll try to rage bait you off of. Oh, sorry. They'll try to rage bait you from being off of the topic so you could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Got a bitch talking about motherfucking centralized banking in India. Shut your ass up. Sorry, yeah, that was crazy. These niggas are losers.
I just want to say, I don't know anyone in political science that's broke. And that's it.
Or has that type of mindset.
Like, I don't know anyone in that field who is broke. at all.
Yeah, like if you got a degree in poli sci and you can't figure out like you might go all the way. Why you can't go all the way and like become a lawyer or something? Like what's going on? Baby, you only 30. Y'all niggas don't have no ambition. Like, come on now.
Or go into law.
Women out here,
Or
that's what I'm saying.
nonprofits. Shit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you ain't got no wife, you ain't got no children, what the fuck is you doing with yourself? I ain't gonna lie. Maybe I'm biased, but what the fuck is you doing with yourself?
I don't know.
Playing the game.
Tara, Tara, I saw a video of a man who got out of, this is the craziest shit. I must put it in the Discord, y'all. It was that man. Y'all probably seen it. It's a man who got out of prison, and he was with this girl, and the girl got, I guess, his girlfriend got pregnant by him, and he was living with the girlfriend, and she was like, "Well, I get like it's time for you to get a job because I'm pregnant," and he talking about, "I don't want no job. I'm not a delivery boy type person." I said, "Motherfucker, I know you freaking lying. You was just in a jail cell. Talk about I ain't no
Wait, you mean Love
delivery."
After Lockup?
Yeah,
You mean Love After
talk
Lockup?
about
Oh my god!
I ain't no delivery man type nigga. Bitch, if you don't get your ass up to that motherfucking warehouse, you bitch ass nigga, talk about he gonna tell her go work some extra hours. It's like, I
Me,
would have see that's
Liz,
the type of shit that give me crash, that'll give me to crash the fuck out, because I would have backhand that bitch
he
and,
told
and
her to
called the
go.
police on his ass. Get the fuck out.
He told her that girl to go at work extra hours immediately after she told him that she was
Immediately.
pregnant. Immediately.
that nigga trying to go back to
He said
jail.
go he gonna
He's
say,
trying to get
he
his
gonna
rap
say,
career off
wait, y'all,
already.
no, hold on, wait, y'all, wait. That's not the most diabolical point. This motherfucker said, I don't need no job. I can go make some money right now if I want to. I can go get a bunch of money right now if I want to. Nigga, you up? Go get to it. Hop to it, motherfucker. If you could go get a bunch of money right now, what the fuck you doing sitting in my face, bitch? Don't let me
Look,
stop you. Go get some money,
no, but
stupid.
they do that. That's something they do. Because I remember talking on the panel with a guy like that. He was mad at his partner because apparently he got a job at AutoZone. And he was mad because he was like, I could be out there making real money. And she got a problem with that. Because she don't want you out in the corner. She don't want you out there trying, like, going back to jail. And that's what it is. It's like, well, the reason I'm not making big money is because you keeping me from it.
Mm-hmm. And that's why they destroyed our
No.
communities. That's why they destroyed our fucking community. Talk about something, there wasn't no jobs. There was jobs, you just didn't want them. You didn't want those jobs. You felt like you was too good for those jobs. You felt like you was too good, even back in the 60s and 70s. You felt like you was too good to go to an A&M university. Like y'all, girl, and then for back to Love and Lockup, when she told her to get out, he was like, "I don't care, I got money, I could go get money right now," and then walked out, and all of his belongings fit in a paper bag.
Girl, that like, and by no means like,
Not the paper
sis,
bag.
what is we doing? Like, what is we ugh. I don't like, lady, what is we doing? This man said,
I ain't gonna
I just
lie.
sleep
She need
here.
to take her
What you
ass to
say?
the clinic. I ain't gonna lie. That woman need to be sitting in the clinic somewhere. Fuck that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I be
Yeah, she
trying.
do.
I be trying for everything in my life not to judge them, because I understand how Black women are told every single day that we are worthless without a man. So I be trying. To give them grace. I really do. But God
No, no,
damn.
fuck that. I'm judging. Somebody was in the comments of one of the videos I was watching. They said, "Oh, why y'all hang up?
That's diabolical.
What's up,
Why
Terrell?
y'all hang up?"
Terrell, I don't know if you're allowed to be over here, Terrell. I don't know if you're allowed to be over here.
Joan.
Last time you came over here, apparently it was trouble. Go on get now,
Somebody said you was
Terrell.
getting bullied over
Okay.
here.
Go
Don't
on get
get.
out of here, Terrell. Yeah.
We watch your
That's your
I don't
kind
want no
new
here.
trouble now. I ain't asked for no trouble.
hit. Don't get.
Go on now. Go on right up that road.
Uh, Y'all play too much for me. I ain't about to be sitting up here playing. And then, how did I get in it? They gonna be like,
Oh,
Lynn told Tara to say that. Cause you know I got mind control over Debo. Nah. But yeah, y'all, this fucking um that shit was crazy. Love after lockup is crazy. Ain't gonna be no love after lockup to me. For me. I
Yeah,
wanna
Mia took me down a rabbit hole of the prison wives, and that shit is fucking wild.
It's sad. Somebody put on they had a thing talk about some ladies, would you break up with your man if he was sentenced to 10 years in prison? And I put in the motherfucking comments, typed in there, I was like, the relationship is over as soon as the motherfucker police tell him to step out the vehicle and hang tight. Soon as that man say step out the vehicle, hang tight right here, it's over. Cause soon as the cuffs go on, it's over. Cause I'll
soon as
be
they get to
damn.
reading you them fucking Miranda rights. Oh, you cheating with some bitch named Miranda? You got it.
as soon as I hear that jingling of those jingling cups, like, no, no.
Once that motherfucking officer tap that roof 2 times and be like, I'll be right no,
You
this
roll
not
down your
working
window,
out for
please,
me.
sir. No.
You know, I've just been thinking, I'm just feeling like this not working out. I feel like I just need to I don't give a fuck.
As soon as I hear the woo, I'm like,
Nah,
okay.
I'm at least nah, y'all ain't right. I'm gonna at least give you until the Miranda rights hit.
She said, as soon as I
As
hear
soon as I
whoop
hear the whoop, can't do it.
whoop.
I got to go. I gotta put myself first. Gotta put myself first. Ain't no way.
No, y'all, these women, like when she in the video, Lynn, and she talking about, well, I bought you this, and I said, why? To the jail is crazy. I don't know. That shit is crazy. And some of these, there was one woman, her husband. I don't know. That shit crazy. He in prison. Talking about, I'm gonna call you back in 15 minutes. Be ready for me. That man talking about having phone smacks like something popping off. That shit is crazy. Thank you for subscribing to Paula. I appreciate you. And she was getting excited. I'm like, ma'am, that nigga gonna be on the phone. Y'all grown. That's crazy. I don't know. But ain't no, you'll never see a show called Prison Husbands. Ain't never gonna happen.
And you can't even say because he's like cute or handsome. Looks like a walking skeleton. Like, ooh, that's what you chose. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, y'all had a text message. You ain't never gonna see Prison Husbands. It don't happen. It ain't never gonna happen ever.
Papoose the only nigga who waited.
And that's because Permimar was his money ticket. That's all. That was his meal ticket, if you think about it. It'd be so many. I like. There was it was a documentary back in the 90s. Y'all, I'm gonna go see if I could find it because it was this documentary. It's not 90s, like it was early 2000s. It was about women that were in prison. Do you know how many women took sentences for they man and was abandoned? Like it's so sad. Like girls, they talk about oh, he told me to put this in my purse, and now she's sitting in a prison for 20 years. That's crazy.
That's wild.
I'm gonna go see if I can find it. Hold on.
I got another topic if y'all want to do it. It's serious though. More serious type of topic.
Okay.
I gotta change the screen. Hold up.
We don't want to talk about prison wives no more.
Oh, we still talking about prison wives?
Nah, I'm tired of
I
talking
want,
about
I
them. I'm
want,
sorry, because I want to judge them so bad. But
I
bye.
want Mia to be here for that conversation. I got
Yeah.
questions.
I just got some more cake pops, by the way, Tara.
I need to see a picture of these cake pops. I know
I
it's too
got
late
four, I got
now.
4 this time. You know, it's not too late.
Ooh.
I got 4 cake pops.
Damn,
Where'd you get the
they.
cake pops from?
It's from this place called Frosted Cupcakery. I got a lemon cake pop, a strawberry cake pop, um, a funfetti cake pop, and a chocolate cake pop. And I'm about to eat all of them.
Let me know how
I'm
the
gonna eat
lemon
'em.
one tastes like. That sounds
Oh, the
good.
lemon one is delicious. I demolished it the other day, on the phone with Tara.
Nice.
They never show me the cake pop though.
Schrodinger's cake pop. It has become. Not gonna lie, this story breaks my heart and like boils my blood at the same time.
So what y'all think?
It pisses me off because this story has been on my FYP for the past like week now, and it's very frustrating.
Hold on, real quick before you get into it. Hold up, real quick before you get into it.
Oh, that's cute.
I don't know why I thought it'd be a little bigger than that. Whatever. You about to fuck that cake pop up. Damn!
Oh! Yeah.
Oh shit! You're alive. Damn, that shit going. They kept up good. I could tell. I could
It
tell.
look good. I like the Starbucks cake pops. They be good with a little coffee in the morning.
Not you. It was a whole. I'm tripping over her putting it back on the camera. That shit was half gone. Whatever flavors you get besides lemon. What's that? Was that strawberry shortcake or something?
Yeah, this one's strawberry.
Oh, strawberry. Ooh. Strawberry looks strawberry.
What's that? Birthday cake?
Looks like confetti.
Yeah, confetti. And then
Okay, I was about to say, oh,
chocolate.
that looks chocolate.
When you say lemon was the best one?
The lemon one is fire. I know,
I would
Coco.
say
That's
my
why I got
favorite
all of
was
them. And strawberry is fire. I haven't tasted the chocolate or the funfetti one, but I'm about to taste them all right now. So don't worry, y'all. Do not worry.
I bet you the chocolate one is going to be dry. It's going to be a little bit drier than the rest.
Okay, let me try it right now then. Let's see. Let's see, Beanie, if you're right.
Oh, shit.
Because I already had the strawberry one, so I can wait. Okay.
Okay.
The moment of truth. The chocolate one, y'all. Mm-mm.
It's too
Mm-mm.
chocolatey.
It's moist.
Oh, okay.
It's moist.
Okay.
It's like it's rich. It's moist.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good because like most of the time they'll make the chocolate one will be like really dry, and they'll put too much icing on it. It's like, ugh.
I gotta be in the mood for chocolate.
No. It's really rich. But
Mm.
yep. So we can get back to the topic because this is serious. I don't want to be eating cake pops over this story. I
No,
feel like
that's
that's
why
a
I
little
said hold up.
disrespectful.
I said hold up. Get to the cake pop. Get it out the way first. Um. So yeah, y'all. Pregnant U.S. woman declared Breon alive being kept alive under state AB law. Did anybody have a status on this woman that current? I'm gonna look it up.
Um.
Do you want to restart this live so you can
Yo,
get more
let's do
people on
that.
here?
Let's
Yeah,
start it.
restart real quick.
Y'all come back, y'all. Come on
All
back.
right. I'll be back because I have thoughts.